Hi everybody, and welcome to A Wheel Stream. A Wheel Stream that is co-sponsored by my other show, Captain Cringe. Today we're going to be doing a Wheel of Cringe. So what I have on the wheel so far today is Channel Awesome Cringe, Random Cringe, Religious Cringe, Convention Cringe, Political Cringe. Is there anything else that you guys think should be on the wheel for today? Hello, Vulcan Princess 97. Welcome to the stream. Channel Awesome Cringe. I was going down the Spoony rabbit hole earlier. Oh no, Spoony. That's a name I haven't heard in a really long time.
There's nothing funny about the tools of capitalism.
I'm the only Twitch streamer that when you sign on, I immediately feel elated. Okay, Jake, but that's Jake. Well, thank you. I'm glad you like this show. Daddy Sume with a bit sponsored by Raid Shadow Legends. I was gonna say I wish, but honestly, if I wanted to get sponsored by Raid Shadow Legends, I probably could. Their standards are very low. Are there at least 2 eyeballs watching your videos? Fine, we'll sponsor you. Even then, like, if you got someone with an eye patch, you know, they'll probably still be like, yeah, can they use a phone? Sure, we'll sponsor you. MMO addicted with 10 bits. Hannah, please watch this. I promise it's not technically a Rickroll and you'll have fun. Well, at least you're warning me. It's probably Rickroll related.
There's nothing funny about the tools of capitalism.
Oh shit! It's Rick Ashley! No, please spare me, Rick Ashley! I wasted all of my money on OnlyFans!
What the fuck? Alright, that kind of made me laugh. That's fair. Soily One has a link. The best ever put downs from the House Speaker. We could save that potentially for politics cringe. Daddy Sume, Trump nominated for Nobel Peace Prize. It was sarcastic, I would imagine. People have been sarcastically nominated for Nobel Peace Prizes before. Notably, Adolf Hitler. Like, they do that sarcastically sometimes. Wing the Ultimate Nug, subscribed for 3 months. Thank you for the 3-month streak. Wing the Ultimate Nug says, hey Hannah, why are superheroes so terrible? They only fight crime in one city or fight some bad guys. They could be doing so much more good in the world. Half of them could create an all-green energy, end world hunger, force all countries to stop fighting. Yeah, I don't know. Like, Superman, theoretically, like, he could solve the world's energy crisis. All you gotta do is, like, build a really, really powerful, like, generator and just have him fly around it like a turbine and make it move or whatever. You know? I don't know. It's because that's not fun. That's the real answer. Because that's not as fun. And that's what superhero comics are, for the most part. Would I be interested in pics and vid from the Black Lives Matter protests in areas of Portland? Yeah, maybe. We're not doing... I mean, we're trying to stick to cringe today, but I can take a quick look at them. Ooh, I'm speaking weird. It's because I have 2 headphones and I normally only have 1, so I can't really hear myself. More cringe. Oh no! It's a Let It Go parody by the Westboro Baptist Church. That's not good. Daddy Sume with a bit. Or have him build solar panels and orbits for endless renewable energy. Yeah. There's a lot of... I mean, most superhero universes could have, like, free energy. That's not even talking about Iron Man and the fact that he literally created the arc reactor and yet the world doesn't seem to run off them, you know? Like, remember when, in the MCU, the first Iron Man movie, Tony's like, we're going to stop making weapons. We're going to start making these arc reactors. But, like, it's 10 years later in the MCU, if not more, and, like, no one has arc reactors other than Stark. So I don't know how Stark Industries is still successful, but whatever. Photos and video from around the Justice Center in Portland, Oregon. As you can see, the building is not damaged. None of the buildings around it are damaged. There's just spray paint. Let's see. I'm trying to click. This one says feds go home. It says some people doing, I don't even know. There's an anarchy symbol and the F word. Lots of F words. Naughty language. Yeah. I bet the protests were fun. If we're talking solving energy crises with superpowers, Storm. Yeah. She could make, like, wind turbine areas always run at maximum efficiency. Iron Man is a dick. He solved the energy crisis but never tells anyone. Yeah. Yeah. Maybe for Channel Awesome Cringe or watch it on your own. It's fascinating. Oh, yeah. I've seen this. I've seen this before. If we're looking for just Spoonie, we could probably just find Spoonie Cringe. Oh yeah, this is the time he started yelling betrayal in E3, and he got people in trouble. Excuse me.
Nothing funny about the tools of capitalism.
MMO addicted with 10 bits. Bah! They have one arc reactor and provide power as a subscription service to others, hiking up the prices for every year. That's how the Avengers are funded. Yeah. They have one arc reactor. Okay. See, that's the thing. Like, even if Iron Man, even if Tony Stark doesn't want to give people the ability to have an arc reactor the size he has, because obviously, you know, theoretically that can be used to create people like Whiplash or Crimson Dynamo or a bunch of other, like, villains that might use Iron Man type technology. But you don't need, he doesn't need to give, like, the public version that big. He could still make one that's pretty big, that's not portable, but still provides, like, clean energy to people, and he just doesn't do it. Like, Tony Stark's awful. Of course, that's only when viewing it through the lens of, like, the real world, and it's not. It's, you know, it's a fictional universe. It is what it is.
There's nothing funny.
It would
about
get
the
too
tools of
far away
capitalism.
from looking like the real world if everyone had just, like, clean arc reactor energy in their homes. You missed my bit. Let me see. Let me go back. Got the perfect game. You could stream Among Us. It's $5. You could play it on stream with us sometime. Maybe. I've heard of it. I don't really want to do game streaming, though. I'm not good at... I can't focus, right? Like, even when we're talking about videos, I have to pause the video most of the time. I can't type and talk at the same time. I can't focus on a game and talk at the same time. I would not be a good game streamer. Did I hear Musk claims his chip will fix autism and schizophrenia? Ugh. No, I didn't, but that sounds like something you would say. If you don't know what I'm talking about, Elon Musk has this. I'm taking this out of my ear. I can't hear myself talk. Elon Musk is working on... Well, I say Elon Musk is working on... Elon Musk doesn't do anything. He just has money because he's rich and he was born rich. Elon Musk has a company that's working on, like, a brain interface chip. It's not anywhere near being able to do that right now, but, like, that's a thing they're working on, and he claims, like, it's gonna cure everything from schizophrenia to, like, having, seizures to, and apparently he's claiming it'll fix autism too, which is an incredibly stupid thing to say. For a number of reasons. So you're sending me a link on Twitter? Okay. Yeah, offensive. That's one of the reasons. Yeah. People with autism, like, many do not
There's
feel that
nothing
it's
funny
something
about
that
the
needs
rules
to
of
be, like,
capitalism.
fixed. It's just who they are. They're just, like, not... Just because someone's brain doesn't work the same as, like, most people doesn't make it automatically wrong, you know?
There's nothing funny about the tools of capitalism.
Not a Rickroll? Okay.
Comedy.
Gilbert Godfrey reads the lyrics to WAP. Hold on, let me see what this Twitter message is. Oh, yeah. Yikes. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Westboro Baptist Church has a whole page full of music videos. I know about it. They're awful. They're real bad. What a shock. The Westboro Baptist Church aren't good people. Who could have guessed? Who can't send it in chat? It'll get flagged? Oh, of course it will. Rightfully so. Yeah, I guess let's just spin the wheel of cringe and see what we get. I'm not looking my best today. Woo! So let's spin the wheel and see what we get. A video of a MGTOW talking about state-sponsored girlfriends. We can do that at some point. Wheel of Cringe. What do we got? Random cringe. So it's just gonna be general cringe to start us off.
Amy's main lover is a humble fairground ride called 1001.
Oh, I've seen this. It's someone who's an objectophile. This is someone who is attracted to inanimate objects.
You smell good. God, you smell so good. He's just so noble, so proud, so strong.
I'm not here to kink shame, but the thing is, this isn't a kink, right? Like, if someone is just like finds objects attractive, I don't care. That's their business. Again, people are attracted to what they're attracted to. But I've seen some of these people who, like, what's the word? Anthropomorphize these objects, right? They think that they're, like, have a conscience, like they're aware.
I not only love him for his sexual attraction, I mean, we're not talking about fetish here. I love him as a mate. You make me feel so alive.
I'm skipping ahead to something else.
I can touch.
Why don't we do that with Grace? Hi.
Oh, hey.
Oh, we've
You are
seen
who?
that. He annoys people.
You are who?
His butt has to hurt so bad.
Hashtag squad goals.
Millennial button. Oh, God.
So extra. Can't even deal. Living my best life. Sorry, not sorry.
How about you just press the button and it says, I can't afford to buy a home. I live with my parents because the economy has crashed 3 times in my lifetime. Capitalism is crippling my ability to pursue happiness. Maybe a little too honest.
It's confirming the ground is now good to say. Oh, you've been joined by a beautiful lady. It's a man, actually, Derek. Caught up.
She's embarrassed.
What?
She's embarrassed because she got the face.
It's okay.
Really? It's okay?
It's fun. Which guy do you want to win?
What?
Which guy do you want to win the fight? The battle?
The white one.
Let's see how...
I can't hear what they're even saying, but I'm uncomfortable.
to wear the airbed because it works.
Yeah, so this one is actually 40% more puncture resistant. So if you've got
They're gonna puncture it. She's wearing heels. Of course. Yeah, don't wear high heels. And they're not even like, I mean, they were, you know, pretty thick heels. But nonetheless, you're putting pressure on an area that you're not supposed to. No one wears high heels or wedges on a bed. That doesn't make any sense. Ugh. Daddy Sume, it all started with the French. They sex all objects. Every noun has a gender in that insane language. A lot of languages conjugate based on gender. It's very strange. I don't get it.
Except for that one time when maybe don't go on it with heels.
Oh no, now we're gonna end up on all kinds of...
Somebody's about to get an ABC 13 umbrella who's been going through a tough time recently. So we're going to go meet Mary.
Why? Why do they think anyone cares about getting an umbrella?
The fire broke.
The person's house burnt down. Their whole life is ruined. Why?
Out at Mary's home on Mill Road in Clover Monday night and destroyed almost everything she held dear.
Rough to see my home burning up, and then finally that night my sister had passed away on her way to my house.
Her daughter reached out to ABC 13 about her extraordinary loss, and today Chief Meteorologist George Flickinger set out to brighten up her day.
We have an umbrella, and I've never actually signed one of these.
Oh my god, no one cares about getting an umbrella signed by your local weatherman. Who cares?
Before.
That's... what the heck?
You have your own ABC 13 umbrella.
Okay, thank you.
To you, bringing you sunshine on a rainy day.
I'd like you to channel.
She doesn't care. How about you help her raise money to fix her house, you dicks?
My food.
Okay, in order for me to do this, I just need a couple of moments.
A couple of moments are deadly on television. The silence could kill you, you know, but we're gonna allow it.
There's nothing funny about the tools of capitalism.
Wind chanter with a bit. Dude that takes the umbrella and dude, take that umbrella and shove it where the forecast calls for no sunshine. That's pretty good.
I was going to say hum a song, Oprah.
Channels.
Well,
she's
I
claiming
don't
to
wanna
channel
interfere with,
someone.
The process, whatever.
Why? Stop platforming people who claim to be psychics. It's not true. Just stop. And I know this is a clip from like the 90s or the late 80s, but like... we've known this is BS forever.
I take this to me.
I'm wondering if everyone on stage claims to be a psychic, and if they're like, wow, she's making us look bad.
That this is my food. Adjusting to what?
Vibrational level.
Vibrational level. Tell me, my food, why, first of all, who are you?
My beloved woman, bless you, I am honored to be in what is called your presence. Ask you that which be I be that which...
Obowan with 100 bits. Her last name is Reuben. Maybe this is why Dave is such a moron. Oh, the voice. The voice is bad.
You are entity, all things. I be what is called one who have come on...
What is called? Did she see, like, is she trying to, like, summon, like, some sort of, like, Indian mystic or something, and the only, like, way she knows to represent that is some kind of weird, like, racist stereotype that I don't even understand? Like, what is it supposed to be?
unto you on this day in your timing, to bring unto you the greatest thing there be, that which is termed the knowing, that you are loved by that which is called the Father, that is within you and within all things, that be I.
Thank you.
Indeed.
Is she thinking to herself, I'm fucking nailing this. This is the best public performance I've ever done. Hey, Lupine. MMO addicted with a bit. Apparently the context for that was her losing an umbrella like that she won in a contest, and her daughter asked the station for a replacement. Still could have helped crowdfund. Yeah, the context doesn't help a ton. Like, I doubt out of all the things she lost, that was something she was focusing on. It's the Chinese grandma accent. Is it? Is that what it's supposed to be? I don't know. Lupine's hanging out, so let's see if she decides to come and grace us with her presence on camera.
And because I have heard
There's nothing funny about
my
the tools of capitalism.
fellow human beings and friends here today sing.
With
It's
French
not funny,
rolling?
trust me.
Yeah, a little bit.
I'm going to step up. Yes, and I'm going to sing you a song that I wrote for my daughter, Ella Grace. At a moment where I was going through a difficult time and where I remind myself of all the hope that there is in one's life and all the hope that there is in love and helping out each other. And it's called Smile Back at Me. And it goes like this. Some people doubt that angels can fly. And some people fight without knowing why. Some people live without seeing the light. Some people live, oh no, but not quite. And I know that good will prevail, and I could conquer
This is almost like a bit from Parks and Rec. Like a city council person gets up and decides to do a song.
with all the love that I feel when you smile back at me. When you smile back at me, I see it from the corner of your eye, the day that we will say goodbye. But nothing will take away what's between you and me. When you smile back at me, when you smile back at me, when you smile, when you smile, when you smile, I love you, my child.
Modern messaging methods like texting and emailing can never compare to...
This is from 2017. Modern messaging like texting and emails. Maybe hire someone younger to write your stuff about technology.
Good old-fashioned yelling at the husband calling contest.
There's nothing funny about the tools of capitalism.
Open the blinds and see the Lupine. I think she left the room. She's not in here anymore. If she comes in, I'll open the window.
The clock says dinner time.
I have won many times, but lots of times I came in second or third, too.
Irving! Unless you want to make the bed, you better get up like right now. Irving!
What is wrong with straight old people? Yes, it's supposed to be like pig calling, but for husbands.
What am I supposed to call him? You low down Roger Darrell Eichelberg, you low down stinky,
Straight old Southern people.
covered, farmer tanned. Oh, I'm supposed to call him for dinner. Darrell!
can you hear me? You get yourself in here right now! Come on! You know you're gonna be late again, and you know that I want to get there on time. Roy! Roy!
What is wrong with people? Why do all old people seem to hate their spouse? What is up with that?
nothing funny about the
Daddy
tools of
Sume.
capitalism.
Okay, that grandma slaps, though. I don't know about that. Uh-oh. Channel Awesome Cringe. That's dangerous. Let's see. I do have an episode of Pop Quiz Hot Shot ready, but let me see what else we can do. Channel Awesome Cringe.
Melvin.
We could just watch a little bit of Kick-Assia. That'd be kind of funny. Nothing
funny about the tools of capitalism.
Okay. So, MMO Addicted with a bit. Practive normaloid people sports. Wow, what a. Okay. Practive normal people. Practive normal. Normal old. Practive normal old people sports like my grandma. Dagger throwing. Also, the reason is social pressure made them marry young, kept them together, and now they feel it's too late to divorce and they wasted their lives. Yeah, I guess. Okay. So, we got Channel Awesome Cringe on the wheel. Channel Awesome made 3 full-length movies. This is the first one. It's called Kick-Assia. The premise of this one is that Doug Walker, the nostalgia critic, wants him and the rest of the people from Channel Awesome to invade the micronation of Molossia. Molossia is a real place in that it's someone's property that they have claimed, like, this is a sovereign nation in the United States. Of course it isn't really, but they do it, and it's a fun thing they do. And they really went to that property and filmed there. So let's watch a little bit. Of course, we're not going to sit here and watch the whole thing. I'm not going to do that to you guys, although someday we might do a watch of To Boldly Flee, which is like 3-something hours long. We might do a full one of that sometime, but let's watch a little bit of Kick-Assia. Double-length movies. Each one is like 3 hours. This one's only an hour and a half, and the second one's like 2, I think. I own 2 of these on DVD. For the record. Why? Oh, I was a huge fan of Channel Awesome when I was younger. I was a huge fan. I bought the DVDs. Yeah. Now I like them for a very different reason. Because they're terrible. Honestly, I think it is money well spent. In 50 years, who's gonna have a copy of Kick-Assia? Me. I'll be the only one, and then I'll have the last laugh. Hey, what other movie? Kick-Assia isn't the one, but the second one, Suburban Nights. What other movie are you gonna get to see Doug Walker's bulge? Okay? Daddy Sume with a bit. Me. I'm actually ashamed of something. How messed up is that? Anyway, here's Kick-Assia.
There is a nation called Molossia, a micronation, to be precise, located just outside of Reno, in Dayton, Nevada. It is a small speck of land, 1.3 acres to be exact. But through a strange loophole, it is technically considered a nation. It is run by a man named Kevin Baugh, who has declared himself the proud president of this land. He has been called one curly short of the Three Stooges, but he does manage to keep order in his humble country.
No,
For
we're
the
not
most
watching
part,
the whole thing.
Molossia is a quiet,
10,
simple,
15 minutes
gentle
of it.
land
I'm not
that
gonna
is
put you
yet
guys
to
through
subject
that.
itself
That
to
would be
any
a whole stream in and
intense,
of itself.
hostile
Someday
violence.
we'll do that. We'll do like a marathon of all the Channel Awesome movies,
where the
maybe for
nostalgia
charity or
critic
something.
comes
That'd be
in.
kind of funny. Like, forcing ourselves to sit through all 3 Channel Awesome movies back to back to back for charity. That'd be pretty good. Or just for fun. I don't know. I don't know if any charity would want to be associated with watching Channel Awesome movies. I'm gonna skip past the opening credits. There's just like, you know, stock pictures of wars and stuff. Written, edited, and directed by Doug Walker. The auteur! Yeah, in the space in between the movies, could be reading the change the channel document. That'd be pretty good. Thanks for coming to the stream, Sushi Mom. Stay safe. What brilliant cinematography. You got the wheel around shot.
Hello, I'm the Nostalgia Critic, online personality, and all-around spectacular guy.
That hasn't aged well!
I'm fine. Anyway, I run a website that has all sorts of reviewers that come together and, well, review stuff. I don't like to brag, but we're pretty successful. I noticed that you have your own nation here. You must be very proud. But to be fair, it is not very big, and you're not very big. So, let's just cut to the chase here. I am going to invade you. My army is going to take you down.
I wonder what happened to this guy, because this guy's a real guy. This guy really does own this property, and he calls it Molossia. Says it's an independent nation. Of course it's not, but regardless, like, he does this, and I think people go as, like, a tourist thing and, like, check it out. Like, I think he's just having fun. I think he realizes that he is obviously not really an independent nation. I'm sure he still pays property tax and stuff. Like, he just does this for fun, right? And to get people to come and pay and take pictures with his stuff. Like, cool. Great. I wonder if this guy ever found out about how shitty Channel Awesome was, or if he would even care. Because they did come and shoot on his property for however long this took to film. By the way, for those of you who don't know, also, the filming conditions were really bad for these movies. People passed out and got hurt. Doug wasn't providing, like, food or water to these people. Like, it was really, really bad.
Down, conquer Molossia, and take it as our own. Now, don't get any bright ideas, don't try to fight back or anything like that. My army is quite literally unstoppable, undefeatable, and of course, invincible. Where you are, well, just you.
There's a Wikipedia page on the Republic of Molossia. Molossia, also known as the Republic of Molossia, is a micronation completely surrounded by the United States, founded by Kevin Baugh, and headquartered in his home near Dayton, Nevada. The Republic of Molossia has claimed itself a nation, but is not recognized as a country by the United Nations or any major government. On April 16, 2016, Baugh hosted a tour of Molossia sponsored by the website Atlas Obscura. Kevin Baugh continues to pay property taxes on the land to Story County, the recognized local government, although he calls it foreign aid. Oh yeah, this guy's in on it. He gets the joke. The land uses the property identified as being within the county is manufactured home converted to real property. Kevin Baugh has stated, "We all want to think we have our own country, but you know, the U.S. is a lot bigger." Okay, so he knows he's doing it for fun. That's cute, you know? Has a little sign that's like, "This is the Republic of Molossia." That's cute, you know? It's a shame it got tied in with Channel awesome, but it is what it is. MMO addicted with a bit. Quote, Kevin Baugh continues to pay property taxes, calls it foreign aid. The land use of the property, yeah, just read that. Yeah, he's in on it. He's got to be in on it.
So, I'll give you 10 minutes to pack things up and piss off. Deal?
Don't student films provide food and water? Yeah. People told him that on the second movie. He's like, food and water? And they're like, Doug, student films provide those to the actors. You need to do this. Like, very, very stupid.
Why do they always want to do it the hard way?
You want to do that take again, Doug? I don't know if the acting was like even for you a 10 on that one.
Malacia.
Hello.
It's time.
Poor Lindsay Ellis. Hey, you know what, though? It allowed her to get where she is now, where she's, like, one of the most, like, I don't know if prolific. She's one of the best content creators on YouTube, so I guess it worked out in the end. It's a shame she ended up tied to this, though.
What? It's...
MMO Addicted said, he is for sure having fun. Malacia's currency is the Valora, which is subdivided into 100 futuras and pegged to the relative value of Pillsbury cookie dough. Cookie dough is stored in an outbuilding called the Bank of Malacia, which Valora coins made from gambling chips and printed banknotes are sold. CNN's Great Big Story also featured Malacia and... Oh, that's funny. That's cute.
It's time.
Gaylord the Cat, welcome to the stream.
Hello.
We're doing weird shit today. We're doing Cringe stream. We're checking out one of the Channel Awesome movies right now.
It's time.
Hello.
It's time.
Yellow.
It's time. It's time.
Hello?
Yeah, what does it's time mean? What? I don't know, you just called me up and said it's time, like I'm supposed to.
Seeing Phaelus still give a shit in these movies is kind of funny, considering what happens by the third film.
To know what that means.
Get on the wagon, Phaelus! It's the takeover of Malacia!
The takeover of what?
Hold on, I gotta call on the other line. Hello?
Hey, yeah, what's this it's time thing you're talking about?
Don't you know?
No.
Look, it doesn't matter. Just meet me in Malacia.
Where?
Hey, hold on, I got her call. Hello?
Yeah, it's 3:22 p.m.
What?
I thought you were asking what time it was.
No, I'm telling you it is time!
Yeah, and that time is 3.
What happened in the third film? Oh, by the third film, everyone's just so over it. Phaelus is literally in the background of the third film in some places. Like, you can tell he just does not care. He is mentally checked out. He's like, I do not want to be here.
3:22 p.m.
No, I got another call. Hold on. Hello?
I'm behind you 110%, critic. Any Chick-fil-A's refusing to serve us delicious nuggets on Sundays from here on out will be blown sky high!
Wait a minute, what are you talking about?
Wait, what are you talking about?
The invasion of Malacia.
What is Malacia?
Hold on, I'll get back to you. Hello?
Yeah, I got 3:24 here, but I think Spoonie's watch is more accurate.
Oh, hold on a minute. Hello?
Me again.
Sorry. Hello?
Hi, still running on confused here.
Look, it's hard to explain. Just meet me in Malacia.
It's a really bad idea to film scenes that you're together in separately, right? Like, you're gonna... How do I put this? It's hard to, like, react to people naturally when you're clearly not actually hearing them. Like, clearly they had a script and they just filmed it somewhere completely separately from each other in their own houses. And then when you put it together, it comes off as, like, awkward. Which this is already awkward due to, like, how it's shot and everything. And, of course, these people aren't actors. They're just like internet like personality people. So it's just weird all around. Daddy Sume with a bit. This is kind of funny though. Oh god. I don't know. If you think it's funny, that's great. I'm not on that same page though. MMO addicted. I assume I'm in the minority here, but I have no idea who any of these people are. Yeah. They're internet reviewers. A lot of them still do a lot of really good work. Just not this guy.
Malasia. It's in Nevada.
Okay, I'll just walk over to Nevada.
I'll fly you there.
When?
I don't know. I can barely keep track of who I'm talking
funny,
to.
so-
Oh, that reminds me. I gotta call Sean.
Who?
The epic fail guy.
Oh, yeah, he's funny.
Yes. Hello.
3:23 p.m.
Go away. Hey, Cinema Snob.
Guilty as charged.
Oh, Brad. Oh, Brad. Why?
Any chance you have Sean's number?
Your mom has Sean's number.
Shut up.
Believe it or not, Sean isn't at home. Leave a message.
Remember that joke from Seinfeld? We redid it here. Is that a joke if we just do the same joke from Seinfeld?
Let me see if Goggles is on board.
Hello, that chick with the goggles.
Goggles? It's time.
It is?
Yes, we are taking over Malasia.
We're taking over Malaysia.
I know, right? So get your stuff together and come down to...
By the way, this has been an answering machine the whole time. Leave your message after the beep.
Hello?
Little Miss Gamer, I need your help. We are taking over Malasia.
Oh, yeah, I'd love to, Critic, but I'm a little busy right now.
Huh? Doing what?
Yeah, I kind of got sucked into my Nintendo game. Freak accident. Now I have to defeat the Mother Brain, restore order to the kingdom. And Link's been acting kind of like a jerk.
Well,
Hold on, another call. Hello?
3:24 p.m.
Okay, look, I'm putting everybody on speakerphone.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
That's
Yes.
not how
No.
phones work.
I mean, yes.
Look, we're taking over the land of Malasia. I'm flying you all out to Nevada so we can prepare for the invasion.
And where are we all gonna stay?
It's okay, I booked everybody a hotel room.
Well, gee, I didn't see that one coming.
Oh boy, I'm excited. Are you excited? I'm excited.
Let's play Spot the Pedophile, who in this scene was later outed as a pedophile. Doon, doon,
Excited!
doo, 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 doo,
I cannot believe he dragged us all out here.
Tell me about it. I got American food I could be puking up right now.
doo, 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 doo.
Hey, you look familiar. Aren't you that doctor guy?
What? No, I mean, I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
All
You're
of
always
them?
trying to
No,
take
not all
over the
of them.
world and stuff.
No, I mean, I swear I don't.
No. You got the goggles and the...
No! I mean, okay, I was before, but that was the past.
Okay, I'm going to ignore you now.
So you're a picture, huh?
This is so cringe. Why are you making us watch it? Because it's a cringe
everybody
stream.
here?
I sure as hell hope so. We can't fit any more people.
This guy, the guy in the
My God,
Wario
where's
hat,
Mickey?
by the way, was the answer.
think
In
you're
case you
sitting on
didn't know.
That's okay. I didn't want to stand anyway. Alright, people. We are about to do the ballsiest thing any of us have ever done before. We are going to take over the land of Malasia!
Why?
What?
Why are we taking over Malaysia? I mean, isn't it barely an acre of land?
Mars Girl, do you think anyone else here honestly has that question?
Why?
Okay. Fact is, that's our one opportunity to finally seize control of something. I mean, haven't you ever wanted to rule your own nation?
Does SimCity count?
This is our chance to finally have power, to create an empire unlike any other.
But it's only an acre of land. What can we do with an acre of land?
What can we do with an acre of land?
Whoa.
People, what may start as just a small acre of land will blossom into something larger than any of us can possibly imagine.
Yeah, like 2 acres of land.
You know, there's another group of people that thought like you, Linkara, and they were called Nazis! They were closed-minded, hate-filled people that just want everything their way. Are you a Nazi, Linkara?
No.
Are you a Nazi, Linkara?
No.
Because I don't want any Nazis around here!
No, I'm not a Nazi!
I'm not a Nazi!
Good. Now let me tell you about a group of people that didn't give up. They were called Nazis. They had a crazy plan too. Everybody thought they were nuts. But you know what? They got pretty far, didn't they? Because they were dedicated.
Yeah!
And strong.
Yeah!
A lot of people said they were crazy. Well, everybody says that we're crazy, so that gives us a better advantage, doesn't it?
Yeah!
Think about it. First, we take Molossia, and then the neighbors down the street. And then their neighbors, and then their neighbors, and then their neighbors. Until we build a military force so gigantic that nobody will be able to stop us. And then we go global. First, we start with Texas. Then Canada. Then France. And then whatever other nation stands in our way. And then...
Pudding?
The world! Yeah! And don't you let anyone tell you that you can't do it. So what are you people? A Nazi? Or Nazi?
I would say that joke didn't age well, but I don't think it was even good when it came out. Like, that's a real bad joke.
As the obvious future president of this great nation, I'm going to need a vice president to be by my
Please
side.
end our suffering.
You're the only one who can keep the Nastasia name alive. Mostly because it's in your name. Interested?
Well, I don't know. I was kind of holding out for president.
Well, that's all the vice president does.
Oh, okay then.
Cool. All right, everybody. What are we waiting for? Let's go kick some Molossia!
It may be Mickey.
So, this nostalgia critic guy says he might be invading our nation. What do you think?
This is the only bit in the movie that I think is still funny. No, we're not watching the entire thing. We'll probably just watch, like, part 1, or I guess I don't know how long part 1
I say
goes.
keep our defenses high, but not worry too much about it.
The actual Molossia guy is also, like, the best actor in the movie.
Good.
We'll go until the end of part 1, so there's like 6 minutes left in this part. And then we'll spin the wheel again.
We're going to annihilate them, aren't we? We're going to annihilate them!
Yes, Film Brain, but save your energy. You're gonna need it for all the pointless torturing we're gonna be doing.
Oh god, what did Film Brain do? Someone in the chat says Film Brain
He
is
seems
a
much
twat.
smaller
What
in
did he
person.
do?
That's because you're far away
genuinely
from
not
him,
familiar with
jackass.
what
Well,
Film
he's
Brain
about to
did.
get a lot closer.
Dutch angle. See, I think this joke, the joke could theoretically work, right? But the fact that it's like an actual submachine gun, I think ruins the joke. He needs to just pull out like a normal gun, like a semi-automatic pistol or even a revolver, and that scares him off. That kind of works as a joke because they're all trying to be like badass, and then like they come up and he's got like the bare minimum of like home defense, and that scares them away. That's kind of a joke, right? But if he legitimately has a submachine gun, like, of course you're gonna run away from someone with that. Like, that's... I don't know. I'm trying to fix this movie is an empty, pointless endeavor. Nonetheless, I think that joke almost could work.
didn't work.
Didn't you have any other strategy outside of going, ah? Well, I didn't think that far ahead.
No, you just thought up to where everyone was in charge and you were ruling the fucking world.
Yes.
Well, you can't just do that, Critic. You have to plan these things out. You have to have a strategy, for God's sake.
Yeah, but that takes hard work. Hard work that we do not have!
I declare this sucking.
Me too, I'm out of here. Yeah, out of here.
I'm more addicted. Oh god, the Velasquez guy
do you
looks like
dare
the
leave
chairman
now in your
of our
moment of
far-right
victory?
ruling law and justice party. He kinda does.
I know that film, Brain. We just need a plan!
How about we gut them open and wear their organs as hairnets?
Nah, we'd have to get close to them first.
Oh.
How about I launch Barry over like a kamikaze bear?
Nah, I think they see that coming.
Oh.
How about a legion of spiders? They're quite small and fit in them as overhead compartments. No,
How many of
how'd
these
you get
were
out here
there?
anyway?
There were 3 movies they made. They made 3
Just want to be
movies.
loved. Get out!
And then they made a movie that was like an anthology movie, but I don't really count that one.
How about we use Tom's head as a battery?
Oh, the spider thing. That must seem very, very confusing if you didn't watch the Nostalgia Critic. The guy who was like, spiders! It's a reference to a review he had done of the, Lost in Space movie. It's him parodying. It's him doing a character from Lost in Space, the movie. It's hard to hear me over the video. Okay, I'll turn the video down.
Hey.
Nah, his head is too soft.
Hey. Maybe we can jump on him and use this turtle shell to get extra points.
That's your answer to everything.
Well, it'd work if you gave it a shot.
Hey guys, I got an idea. This might seem like a shot in the dark, but what if we just...
Doug really likes this, like, downward looking up angle towards himself. And it's like self-aggrandizing. If you're shooting someone from a low angle, first of all, it's like an awkwardly low angle. Like, this is not, if you're doing a low angle shot, it doesn't seem to me this is the one you're doing. It makes a little bit of sense when he's giving the, like, faux dramatic speech, right? If you're doing a low angle like this, because it's almost parodying, like, the idea of the low angle shot to, like, make the person seem, like, larger than life. But, like, look at the angle of this shot. It's like when you open your front-facing camera accidentally, and you just see from the bottom up. Strange choice.
just used weapons?
Nah, it's a terrible idea. Wait! I have an idea!
Gee, does it involve using weapons?
It involves using weapons!
Yeah.
Angry Joe, get your MP5s. Linkara, get your magic gun. Denzai, start wrapping Barry in explosives. By God, we'll give him a battle worth fighting for.
And this time, there will be no dawn for Malacia.
It doesn't even make sense, like, in terms of in-universe, right? Because a lot of these characters use weapons regularly on their shows. Like, Doug has a gun on the show that he uses when he's mad because violence isn't the one punchline he has. Angry Joe has those. Linkara has, like, a gun. It's even in his theme song. Like, why would they... It just feels like it's padding to have them run away the first time because they don't have weapons. Because they do have weapons. I don't know. Again, I'm trying to bring logic into it, and it's like, it's just a stupid internet movie, but... Cascadia 93, did any of these people actually enjoy spending time near Doug? Like, they just... that just seems like a bad time, you know? I mean, at first, maybe, but I'd imagine as the movies went on, and it seems as the movies went on, they more and more got tired of Doug's shit. Understandably so. Doug's awful. Okay, that's all we're gonna watch of that for today. I do like the idea, though, of sometime watching all of them in a row together. I think that would be, I don't know if fun's the right word, but it would certainly be something to do while we wait for the sweet, sweet release of death. I... 'Cause, 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 Oh no! They made 3 movies. We got Channel Awesome Cringe again.
There's nothing funny about the tools of capitalism.
MMO Addicted, I have to stop you, Hannah. The Geneva Convention forbids that. I have seen the pictures from the California fires. Looks scary. Let's see what we got. We got Pop Quiz Hot Shot episode 2. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm not gonna make people watch more Kick-Assia, because then we'll just wind up watching the whole movie, and no one wants that. We gotta mix it up. And I want to save the movie for a time when, like, I advertise it as such. Like, we're gonna watch all the Channel Awesome movies. But, like, I don't want to do it all right now, impromptu.
Are you ready, Ian? Are you ready, Dominic? Go! Get the codpiece inside David Bowie's pants! Oh wow, that was way too close for comfort. Okay, that got hurt. Yeah, that definitely hurt. Okay, this was a terrible idea for a physical challenge, but keep it going. I'm a man, I prove it because I wear tight pants usually.
Oh, I guess I should preface this in case you didn't see the last time we covered this. Pop Quiz Hot Shot was a game show that Channel Awesome raised $90,000 for, and this is the end result, and it's the worst game show of all time. This is episode 2. Doug's a terrible host, and he thinks that being loud and making noises is a punchline.
Not bad. Yes, go. Oh, while you're down there. No, that's a different movie David Bowie was in. That's one from my private collection. Oh, you almost got it. Do I have green? Oh, one more. Come on.
He's constantly making noise and never not talking a joke. Oh my god, we're doing stuff. We're doing stuff. Look at me, I'm in a silly outfit.
My crotch hurts so much. This was a
the
terrible
joke.
idea. I'm the Nostalgia Critic, and this is Pop Quiz Hot Shot. Ow!
I'm the Nostalgia Critic, and ever since I was a child, I always wanted to play games quoting movies and TV with my friends. The only problem
in the words
was,
of Doug
I had
Walker,
no friends.
this movie sucks!
Well, now that I have power, I can take my friends by force. With the help of my new pal, General Anesthetic, I can kidnap all the friends I want and force them to answer questions in my Saved by the Bell style set. There will be laughs, trivia, those disturbing cartoons that give you night terrors. But most of all, there will be fun. The laughter and joy will last however long I want. Heads up, America,
You heard this
for
was Mike
this is
Machad's
Pop
idea, not
Quiz
even
Hot
Doug
Shot.
wanted to do it? That sounds about right.
Okay, I'm Bagum, General Anesthetic.
Did I listen to the thing Linkara
Welcome
put
back to
out
Ow My
last year, A
Balls.
Voice from
I
the
can
Dark?
tell
No,
why
I'm not
that
familiar.
man has a silver balls to cover up the fact that
Yes, Channel Awesome Cringe won again. My rule for the wheel, we've talked about this in previous streams, if it gets 2 times in a row, we'll watch it. If we get the same thing 3 times in a row, I'll spin again, just to keep the variety going. But 2 times in a row, I mean, that's the nature of the wheel. Like, if you get it, you get it. This is actually not a joke. I genuinely have no people who like me. Oh, we like you, Cascadia93. A Voice from the Dark, Linkara. Let me look. A Voice from the Dark, Linkara. It's an audio play. A Voice from the Dark is a 2019 6-part audio play co-written and directed by Louis Lovehog of Atop the Fourth Wall fame. The production is both a reunion and a massive multiplayer crossover of former contributors of Channel Awesome. Linkara and several other internet critics are invited to an abandoned mansion called Scarsdale Manor, but are uninformed of why they are there. Everyone is inside, the floor collapses, trapping them in an underground catacomb. Split into several groups, they must try and escape. But they're not alone, with monsters, unknown horrors, and voices coming from the darkness, not to be confused with the comic A Voice in the Dark. No, not me, Doug. Christ, Hannah, my friggin' partner is a mod here. I'm incredible. Sorry, Cascadia. I'm sorry. Who's in this? Is there like a cast list? Because I'm just curious. Honestly, in terms of like if you're gonna do a crossover with all these people, like an audio thing makes the most sense. I just want to see the cast.
There's nothing funny about the tools of capitalism.
Oh, IMDb, perfect. Daddy Sumo with a bit. Yeah, that's me. Stop giving them my clout. Let's see. Mike Dodd, Garrett Snook, Lehman Kessler, Louis Lovehog, who's Linkara, Diamanda, Hagen, Amanda Spicall, William Swade, some jerk with a camera, Blockbuster Buster, Maven of the Eventide. Okay, so it's some of the people from, like, Channel Awesome. I gotcha. Oh, Nella, yeah. See if there's anyone else I recognize. Mars Girl, Nash, Mike J. What a shock. Lindsay Ellis didn't want to be near that with a 100-foot pole, it looks like. She's not in it.
His balls are probably blue, and that's some sort of medicated lotion that he puts on there, but we're not here to bust my balls, I am here to bust your balls. Ian and Minion. Now, Minion, I respect that in this scenario especially, but I just gotta ask, why that name?
Well, it's a long story.
Hey, Doug, have you considered spending some of the $90,000 you guys raised for this to get sound masking to make it less echoey in your game show studio? That'd be good.
That'll take hours and hours, but the short version is there was a lot more Minions, and I was the third one, but I'm the only one left now, so it just stuck with me.
How confusing. I will not ask any more questions because I feel it will scare me even more. Ian, it says here that you are into voice acting. What kind of voices can you do?
I can do a lot of comedic accents, and sometimes the voices take over. I can do Yoda, the Emperor, from Star Wars.
Yoda was the Emperor in one of those episodes? I never knew that.
Well, I mean, one or the other.
One or the other? Do them both together right now. You're going to have a promising career. It's going to be unbelievable.
Come watch Doug bully contestants for 20 minutes. Isn't this entertaining?
We are not here for that. We are here to find out how this game works. General Aesthetic, tell us how.
Each contestant is asked a series of questions involving nostalgia quotes. If the contestant does not know the answer, but can make the nostalgia critic laugh, 10 points are still given. But look out for the spazzies.
That's the dumbest rule that completely breaks this game show, is if you make Doug laugh with your wrong answer, you still get points. Because A, Doug gives it even when he doesn't explicitly laugh, and B, Doug laughs at the dumbest shit. Like, if you just make a reference or do random humor where you're like, ah ha ha ha, like, oh, what quote is this movie from? Live Long and Prosper or something, or what show? And you go like, Petticoat Junction. Doug will laugh because it's like a wrong answer, but it's so random. So it's like, it's real easy to win this game show. And even if you win, you get like $100. It's not worth it.
First one to hit their buzzer when they appear ends the round, while the other has to pay the penalty through round 2, where the quotes get even harder. The winner with the most points faces off against the nostalgia critic in a one-on-one match. If the contestant wins, they walk out with a cash prize, and also their lives. If they lose, the cash prize will be added to the next contestant's winnings.
All right, Ian and Minion, are you ready for me to ask questions with my legs crossed the whole entire time? I'll assume you are. Ian, name the Disney actor who said everything the light touches is our kingdom.
Jim Belushi?
So close, James Earl Jones. Oh, like that close. Minion, finish this line. Soylent Green is...
Never clean?
It's people.
Good guess. There's some truth to that too. It's actually people. And it's delicious. Ian, in what 70s classic did a character named Dean Warmer say, fat, drunk, and stupid is no way to go through life, son?
Planes, trains, and automobiles?
I love how afraid you are when you say planes, trains, and automobiles. People don't usually see that as a scary movie, but it could be because I have a Jaldo cough on me right now too. But no, that is wrong. It is actually Animal House. Minion, what actor said, do you feel lucky, punk?
Clint Eastwood?
Yes. Ian, which Batman movie had the line, mistletoe can be deadly if you eat it, but a kiss can be even deadlier?
Batman and Robin?
There were negative points right now, my friend. Batman Returns. Minion, what Batman?
It's funny because Doug is angry. Catalina Gearbox with $5. This show is so cringe, the only way to win is to kill everyone. If this were a game show, you'd get 10 points for making me laugh. Ugh.
An actor said sometimes you just can't get rid of a bomb.
Adam West.
Yes, something Joel Schumacher knows very well. Ian, name the movie where Bruce Willis said, yeah, one more thing. None of them want to pay taxes again.
Die Hard?
No, Armageddon. Actually, I thought he just said that to Wesley Snipes. Minion, in which Coen Brothers movie did a character say, I'll be taking these Huggies and whatever cash you got?
The Matrix?
I remember when Keanu Reeves said that, yes.
These contestants are real bad. At least in the first episode, people were answering questions.
Huggies, whatever cash you got. That's actually Raising Arizona, said by an actor who looks like he's just as much not there. Ian, in X-Men, when Cyclops asks Wolverine to prove it's really him, what is his reply?
You're a butthead?
You know what? Give it to him. That's just...
Yikes. Cascadian93. People only laugh at my jokes. Only mine. Only Doug funny. Only Doug. Doug!
Nothing funny about the tools
Duggar
of
White 24 with a bit. I could see this working if the guy with the gun went postal because he can't stand the cringe.
Seeing Hugh Jackman with his sideburns go, you're a butthead. It's just too funny an image. Minion. In Who Framed Roger Rabbit, when Eddie Valiant asks Jessica Rabbit, seriously, what do you see in that guy? What does she say?
His sense of humor.
Yes! Ian, what disaster movie had the line, we have cows?
Twister.
Yes, I also accepted the Christy Alley movie. Minion, finish this Happy Gilmore line.
Is that just a Kirstie Alley's fat joke? Is that the joke?
Said by Adam Sandler.
Wait, is she in Twister? No, right?
During a fistfight. The price is...
Wrong, bitch.
Yes! Ian, in what movie did Ben Stiller say, how can we expect to teach children how to read if they can't even fit inside the building?
Zoolander?
Yes! Minion, in Airplane, whenever a character says, surely you must be joking, the reply is, I'm not joking.
Don't call me Shirley.
You are missing an and, but I will give you that 10 points. Ian, finish this Doc Ock line from Spider-Man 2. Peter Parker, brilliant, but...
Nothing funny about the tools of capitalism.
How does that make any sense? Brilliant but stupid. I mean, yeah, that is kind of the Spider-Man movies in a nutshell, but still, no. It's brilliant but lazy. Actually, I also like the Spider-Man movies the more I think about it. Minion, supply the reply to this Goldfinger dialogue.
What's this all building up to?
No,
oh, they get to do questions to the Nostalgia Critic, and then they win $100 or something.
That is not correct.
I didn't even hear what he said.
By God, did that make me laugh, so I give you that. No. The reply to this Goldfinger dialogue. You expect me to talk?
No, I expect you to cry.
Oh, that's not very funny. That's not funny.
Not correct. But by God, did that make me laugh, so I'm giving you the 10 points. The answer is no, Mr. Bond, I expect you to die. If the goal was just to make Mr. Bond cry, that'd be like the weakest James Bond villain ever. Ian, in Goodfellas, what actor said, as far back as I can remember, I always wanted to be a gangster?
Joe Pesci?
No, Ray Liotta. Minion, what classic horror film had the line, your mother's in here with us, Karis?
Nightmare on Elm Street?
No, The Exorcist. Also, a porno had that line.
Andrew
Ian,
Dickers. Oh no,
finish
Tucker
this
White
line from
24. Oh,
Apocalypse
whatever
Now.
deity
I love
is
the smell of
listening, make
napalm
it
in the morning.
stop.
Smells like
death.
I would have loved if you said Teen Spirit. No, victory. Minion, finish this famous Roy Schneider line. Smile, you
son of a bitch.
Yes. Well, somebody has to hit the buzzer. There we go. Okay. Ian, you have avoided the spaz attack, which means that, Minion, you must pay the penalty. It is a penalty of my choosing. I say, you're giving me a He-Man vibe. I want you to dress up and say all your answers like He-Man. So that is what we are going to do. While that's going on, Ian, you get to enjoy the spazzy cartoon.
I'm sorry, Timmy, but you will never see your father again. What?
Wow, I don't know who animates.
Violence is the punchline, right? In and of itself, it's just funny when random violence happens, right?
But I should give him some of my medication. With that said, we return with Minion. You look like a man who has things figured out.
Why, thank you.
We're gonna go into round 2 now, where the questions get much harder. We're just gonna jump right into it. Ian, in Ghostbusters, Louis Tully said many Shuves and Zools knew what it was to be roasted in the depths of what creature?
Nothing funny about the tools
Monkey?
of capitalism.
That is surprisingly
Like
wrong.
the
The
slore?
giant slore. Minion, in which Coen Brothers
First I
movie
remember that.
was Steve Buscemi's character described as kind of funny looking?
I mean, for children, yeah,
I
often.
got nothing.
You know, it's He-Man just looking so defeated. I got nothing. Yeah, you know, give it a 10 points. That's the acceptance
That's not funny, Doug. What?
of that failure is
Like, the rules of this game make no sense.
was quite touching in all the right ways. Ian, what early kids sports movie had the line, "I just figured out why the Cubs lose every year. They've got more talent in the stands than they do in the field"?
Rookie of the Year?
Yes, Minion. Who was the actor that tried to say it was the Dukes while being choked in Trading Places?
Skeletor?
You should be screaming it more. That's your arch enemy, man. Skeletor, come on, scream it, yell it.
Skeletor!
Louder!
Skeletor!
Announce it to the world!
Skeletor!
No. Ian.
Bellsbub, thank you for subscribing with Prime.
Which Star Trek movie contains the line, "Damn it, Bones, I need you"?
Star Trek II, The Wrath of Khan?
So close! It's actually Star Trek the slow motion picture. I think it was also in the porno as well. Minion. In Casablanca, Humphrey Bogart said, "Play it again, Sam." True or false?
False.
Correct! Ian. Which Al Pacino movie had the line, "We can climb out of hell 1 inch at a time"?
Don't kill me?
Good answer, but sadly it's not true. It's the one where he screamed. In this case, Any Given Sunday. Minion. Keith David asked Ben Stiller, "Is it the Frank or the beans in what movie?"
Madagascar!
No, it's actually There's Something About Mary, but by God. When
And it's like so random when Doug laughs. Like, sometimes when people say a random, really wrong movie, he'll laugh and give them the points. Or he won't laugh, but he'll be like, "Oh, that was funny, I'll give you the points." But other times he doesn't. There's no consistency.
Wouldn't that be amazing if he said as Goliath in Madagascar? That would be the greatest movie ever. I would definitely
How is
pirate
kidnapping
that.
people
Ian.
funny? Remember, to Doug, there's nothing funnier than violence as a punchline. That's the joke. Violent thing happening. It's funny. That's the joke to him. I'm not saying violence can never be used in service of a joke, but the joke needs to be more than just, "and then they were threatened," or "and then this person got hurt." Like, that's not a joke in and of itself, right? I don't know.
Late night talk show host said, "Would you like to buy a monkey in the movie Cabin Boy?"
David Letterman?
Yeah. You saw Cabin Boy?
Yes.
I'll still give you the points, because you know, that took courage. That took courage to admit, even more courage to see it. Minion. Who was the character that said, "That's a lot of fish" in the 1998 Godzilla classic?
Matthew Broderick.
Yes, but I'm not going to give you the points because we agreed nobody would ever utter his name again. I kid. I give you the points. Ian. Which movie had the line, "Why do you wear that stupid bunny suit"?
Donnie Darko?
Yes, I also accepted North. Minion. Robert De Niro said, "I'll make him an offer he can't refuse" in what movie?
Catalina Gearbox with $1. I think Doug has lost all sense with reality, and this is funny in his own head. I guess. It's just so not funny, and it's just
No, it is
boring.
actually Godfather Part 2. Clearly, He-Man is not up on his mobster films. I bet you know Godfather 3 like the back of your hand, right? Ian. What 90s comedy features the line, "I have been stabbed, shot, poisoned, frozen, hung, electrocuted, and burned"?
Hopefully not me.
Well, the night is young. I'll give you the points for that. That was a delightful plea. It's actually Groundhog Day.
Like, he didn't laugh. It's supposed to be if you make Doug laugh, you get the points. He didn't laugh at that. What are the rules to this game, Doug?
In Robin Hood Men in Tights, what character said he dared to kill a king's dare?
The sheriff?
Of
Nottingham?
Yes! And that sound means the round is over. It looks like we have Ian at 80 points and Minion with 110 points, which means Minion goes on to the final round to go up against me. Ian, I'm so sorry. I'm really not. You deserve what's coming to you. I didn't like you. I didn't like your glasses. I want you just out of here. Go.
about
You want to have your hands up. No, I should pull them back out. That's funny. Be sure to do the thing
24.
we,
Maybe this could be
can't
funny if
actually
Doug
say
was the
online.
one
It's
being
thing
forced
you
at
can't say
gunpoint to
online.
run a
We will
god-awful
be
game
back
show.
after this.
Maybe. I mean, I think the whole, like, idea of having the premise of the game show being, like, under duress is kind of dumb in the first place, but, like, if you're gonna do it, you should probably have someone forcing the host to do it, right? Like, you're gonna host this bad game show, and they're like, really? And if they don't like the question, they can be like, this is a bad question. They threaten it. Like, it's not funny still, but, like, I think it's better than, like, fake threatening your contestants as a joke. I don't know. Neither's funny, but if you're gonna do it, I think the threatening the host is a funnier joke than threatening contestants. Neither is very funny, but one is slightly funnier than the other.
If you would like to be a contestant on Pop Quiz Hotshot and live in the Chicagoland area, send a video via YouTube stating your name, age, and why you think you would be a good contestant.
I forgot what episode it is. There's one episode, though, where one of the contestants just roasts Doug the whole time, and he gets madder and madder, and that one's amazing.
Welcome back to Pop Quiz Hotshot. Minion, congratulations. You'll be battling against a nostalgia critic in our final round. I'll be reading off 7 questions. The one who answers the most correctly will win the game. The one who doesn't? Well, we'll see. If you win, Minion, you'll win this.
A paid trip to this resort! Postcard in the middle of our hallway, as well as $100 in cash, and of course, you're live.
Today,
Daddy Sume with a bit. Yeah, because you can at least have the schadenfreude of the host's misery, making it the bedrock. This is just bad because you never know how funny the contestants will be, and it's just flawed, yeah. You should never have a show whose premise is based upon your contestants being good at improv. You just shouldn't. Because improv is bad even when professionals do it half the time. I'm not saying improv can never be funny, but even stuff like Whose Lines Is It Anyway, which I'd put like, that's like if you're showing someone what improv is. Whose line is it anyway? Boom, there you go. They're great at it. But like, A, they've been doing it for like years and years and years, and they're really, really good at that kind of thing. And B, like they edit out the bad stuff. You know what I mean? Whose Line Is It Anyway doesn't show you every single game they play on the show. Sometimes they do a bad job and they edit those ones out. Improv is good as a starting point, but like it's at its best when it's like pared down after the fact. Even movies that use a lot of like improv stuff like, I don't know, Talladega Nights or Anchorman, like they cut out so much stuff of those movies that was just bad and unfunny. Like, improv, you can get amazing stuff out of improv. But boy, do you need to cut out, like, 90% of the bad stuff to get to the good. That's why, like, live improv nights can be real bad, because there's no editing going on. Daddy Sume with a bit. How bad is you and Jake's improv with chick tracks? You two should do a live chick track recording so we can see how awful it is. I mean, I think we're better at it now, but, like, oh yeah, in the past, I'd cut out a ton of stuff of those chick tracks. And even so, bad stuff gets in there, you know, just because some of it's integral to, like, the plot of the track, so you can't cut it. Like, improv is hit or miss at best. And I say that as someone who has done, like, improv online. Like, it's just the name of the game, you know? And that's for people who do it regularly. Like, asking contestants or audience members to do so, bad idea. Really, really bad idea.
Today's theme is Simpsons quotes. I'll be reading each of you 7 quotes, and your answer is going to be either Mr. Burns or Smithers. Minion.
Cascadia 93. The difficulty of improv is what makes Robin Williams the funniest man ever for me. Nobody could compete with him for that. Yeah, that dude's brain must have just been, like, wired for that stuff. I can't believe how quick he's able to, like, not only think of, like, he's instantaneously able to, like, think of a premise for a joke, think of a voice to do for the joke, and then, like, it's just amazing. If you've ever seen him actually do the improv, it's bananas how quick his brain worked. Daddy Sume, like with the Y hole, that was a cringe joke. Oh yeah, that was me trying to be edgy. It's bad. Real bad stuff. Antipodian Squid with 100 bits. I remember one Chick Tract recording where near the beginning Hannah says, "This is our third recording because we went way too far downhill." And Jake just sounds defeated like, "Yeah, we're tired." I do remember that. And that's the worst thing too, because like the more you do it, the more tired you get, and it gets worse most of the time. So I don't know. Yeah, you found it funny when you were 15. You found the Y hole funny when you were 15. Way too cringy. Oh yeah, totally.
Are you ready?
I was even too old for that shit at that point. I was like 18, 19 at that point.
Yes. Chief, are you ready?
I was born ready.
Let's begin. Minion, I think women and semen don't mix.
Mr. Burns.
Incorrect. Critic. Bobo, I know I say this every century, but I'll never leave you behind again.
Mr. Burns.
Correct. Minion, I discussed this with our lawyers and they consider it murder.
Mr. Smithers.
Correct. Critic, if I came into your room and started sniffing at your crotch and slobbering all over your face, what would you say?
Mr. Burns.
Correct. Minion, you may hug my shadow.
Mr. Burns.
Correct. Critic, welcome aboard. I guess my Swahili is not as good as yours.
Mr. Burns?
Incorrect. Minion. Oh, and one more thing. You must find the jade monkey before the next full moon.
Mr. Smithers.
Incorrect. Critic. We'll take the spruce moose. Hop in.
Mr. Burns.
Correct. Minion. I like the way Snrub thinks.
Mr. Burns.
Incorrect. Critic. I love you. In those colors.
Smithers.
Correct. Minion. Thank you for making my last moments on Earth socially awkward.
Mr. Smithers.
Incorrect. Critic. And yet, I've led a solitary life. The fair sex remains a mystery to me.
Mr. Smithers.
Incorrect. Minion. Father, I'm not Catholic. I tried to march to the St. Patrick's Day parade, but anyway.
Mr. Burns.
Incorrect. And
okay, this guy apparently just has never watched The Simpsons because some of these are really easy to get. It's just a Mr. Smithers or Mr. Burns. If it's like a vaguely like reference to being gay, then it's Smithers because Smithers is gay. If it's about being old, it's Mr. Burns.
Finally, Critic, tell you.
Why is he the final boss? He's not even that good. It's because Doug has a huge ego and he thinks he's the best and he needs to be the final challenge.
Hey, what? We come back and everyone's slaughtered? I owe you a Coke.
Mr. Burns.
Correct. And the winner is...
Oh, halloo-hallay, happy day for me. Yes, please go ahead, lead him off and do whatever you want to him, man. Whatever I would want to him.
Get out.
I'm the Nostalgia Critic, and I will see you next time. Do you think I look pretty in pink?
Absolutely.
I think I look lovely.
Indeed.
You know, you might want to change this to sort of a pink ensemble. I think it'd go well for you.
I could try it out probably during Easter or something like that, dress up as the Easter Bunny.
Is pink the color the Easter Bunny is?
Yes. Oh, it could be any color, actually. I don't judge.
Seen the Easter Bunny.
Oh no, see that's one rule you don't break in improv. Don't say no. That's one improv rule. It's like the only rule. Don't say no. If someone says, "Is that the color the Easter Bunny is?" You do not say no. You say yes and. That's like the one improv rule. There is no no. There is only yes and.
Yes.
What's he or she like?
Oh, he was tall, gable.
MH Dark Beast with a 4-month subscription streak. Happy anniversary. Thanks for the subscription. Appreciate it.
Lay a lot of eggs, way too many eggs. I thought that he probably oversaturated the market with eggs. Actually, it was kind of it's actually kind of disturbing.
Is that why you shot him?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
He was delicious.
Catalina Gearbox donated $5. Says people died. That's funny. Their one joke is the joke he has. Looking back at the video you both made when hold on.
Funny about the tools.
Looking back at the video you both made when Jack died is like looking back in a time machine of the people who you used to associate with. Oh god, I don't even remember who was in that video. I'd rather not think about it, to be honest.
Are you ready, Ryan?
Wheel of Cringe. What's next? Oh, good. It's not Channel Awesome Cringe for a third time in a row. Religious cringe. No one was in that one, but you did Lisa. Yeah, Lisa was bad. No one was in that one, but the Lisa one was bad? Oh, okay. Religious cringe. Here's a Christian cringe fail compilation, I guess. There was also one that got sent to me. Oh, God. This is the Westboro Baptist Church. Obviously, some of the worst people in the United States. They are those people who show up to, like, soldier funerals and protest and say, like, God hates soldiers. Or, like, they protest, you know, gay people with the God hates F slur signs and all that kind of stuff. I guess they made the, they made a parody of Let It Go. Yeah, we'll see what the lyrics like of this are. If they're bad enough, then I'll knock it off because TOS.
In this nation,
There's nothing funny about the tools of capitalism.
your sin shines bright in this nation tonight.
Thrash Mio with 100 bits. If you want to tell if one is an artificial intelligence, you can simply ask, did you water Jupiter? If they don't respond with yes, in fact, I did hide the goldfish, then they are artificial intelligence. What? I have no idea what you're talking about.
Not a good heart to be seen. A kingdom of fornication, and it looks like fags are queen.
Oh, nope. Can't watch that. Let's see a different one. Here's just a Christian cringe fails compilation.
Hey, Scotty. Jesus, man.
Daniel claims to heal the sick and even cast out demons.
Antipodian Squid says, I want to live in a kingdom of fornication. Oh, hype train. Heck yeah.
Daniel's followers are totally under his control.
Oh.
But some of his methods have raised eyebrows.
Sounds like it hurts.
Congregants are made to eat grass, and Daniel insists it's an instruction from above.
Don't do that.
He refused to take questions from journalists.
In March,
don't eat grass unless you have like 3 stomachs like a cow.
Water began dripping down a statue of Jesus on the
Wing
cross
the Ultimate Nug with
at Our
69
Lady of
bits.
Velankani
Nice.
in Mumbai.
Live, breathe, dream the hype.
Parishioners collected the so-called holy water. Others drank it, hoping it would cure ailments. But rationalist and atheist Sanal Edamaruku investigated and said it was actually sewage water percolating through the statue because of a leaky water pipe.
Please stop the prayer for a while.
Honestly, I have so much respect for people who do like religious like miracle debunkings, especially in like other countries. Like, it's hard enough in the United States to be like, hey, I'm gonna try and like debunk the thing you think is a miracle. It's actually sewer water. Much less in like another country where like everyone's not only religious, but they're like the same religion and you're like one of the only people. That's gotta be tough. That's gotta be so tough.
For this water to be distributed. And he has been giving this water.
Cascadia 93 with 25 bits. They used to protest my high school, which was only a few hours from their church, so it was easy for them to get there. They protested us for years because we had the first gay prom king in the state. Good for you guys. Seems kind of... I don't know why people freak out. Well, I don't know. Bailey Quinn says, important question, chat. 1 or 2? I'll say 2. I'm going to say 2.
Priests have been distributing this water and brought to me also. People were given him a spoonful on their palm and they were just licking it without knowing what it was.
There's nothing funny about
now he's being charged with
MW1642 with 100 bits. Thank you.
blasphemy under Section 295A of...
So he proved it was sewer water, and this guy's now being charged under a blasphemy law. We're all doomed as a species.
The Indian Penal Code.
And let me just point out,
yes, darling.
4 members of the Republican Party who are running for president also do not believe in evolution.
Yes.
So if there was a gasp in the audience, then it should be a bigger gasp.
Is the world flat?
Is the world flat?
Yes.
I don't know.
What do you think?
I never thought about it, Whoopi. Is the world flat?
I never thought about it.
You never thought about whether the world was
no, because
round?
but I'll tell you what I've thought about, how I'm going to feed my child.
The View is the worst thing, and I hate it so much. Tetsuyo Dragneel, thanks for the 5 bits, and Krista Willow, thanks for the bit.
To take care of my family, the world flat has never entered into, that has not been an important thing to me.
You'll teach your son, Jeffrey,
If my
right?
son, Jeffrey, asks me, is the world flat, I guess I will go.
You know, didn't Columbus already work this question out?
I hate The View. I hate The View with a fucking passion.
They had Christians because they threw
Wait, why can't I hear it anymore?
to the lions. I think this might.
Hold on, did my, earphones just break? That would suck.
Predate that. I think this
Oh, it's only out of one ear, that's
anything
weird.
predated Christians.
No. Yes, the Greeks came first. Yes, the Greeks were first. Then the Romans, then the Christians.
Jesus came first before them, so
No! What? What an idiot! Why is she so stupid?
no. Okay, all right.
On paper.
Okay.
Not on paper.
Okay, yeah, I don't want to turn this.
Beat. So I gave my sermon an urban kick. My rhymes are fly, my beats are sick. My crew is big and it keeps getting bigger. That's 'cause.
Nope, can't play this.
Burke eats pounds of goldfish crackers each week.
Oh man, you know what's delicious? Goldfish crackers. They really are. Goldfish crackers are amazing.
But last week, she found one she believes is a sign from God.
I pick them up one by one and I look at each individual goldfish. And when I picked this one up, I knew he was special. He had a cross on him and he had a crown circle up by his head. Something I'd never seen before out of all the goldfish I've eaten. I was like, this is a special goldfish.
It just looks like a goldfish.
It's a sign that God is present in her every...
the tools of capitalism.
Antipodian Squid with 100 bits. I never thought I'd feel relief that Whoopi isn't a flat earther and believes in evolution.
everyday life.
Up one at a time and look at it, and maybe that's why the Lord chose me, because he knew I wouldn't eat it before it could be made known.
Or you've looked at literally thousands of goldfish for some reason, and eventually you're going to find one that your weird brain decides looks like Jesus or whatever you think it is.
The word offense in the Greek is scandalon, and it refers to the bait of a trap. This is an old Texas rat trap, and I've smashed many a finger on this thing trying to show this message. And when you put the bait on this trigger,
Why don't you get one that's disarmed then? You can, get a trap and then disarm it.
Trigger is called the scandalon. That's the offense. And if you reach for the offense to be offended because you are, an animal reaches for it to eat it.
I'm very concerned he's going to get his finger
for
snapped.
The offense because he's hurt.
Oh! Oh no. Why is he using such a big one, too? Just get, a mouse trap if you really need a visual metaphor and you don't want one that's disarmed. Why get one that could actually break your finger? Ugh. This is Jerry Falwell talking about 9/11 2 days after it happened.
The abortionists have got to bear some burden for this because God will not be mocked, and when we destroy 40 million little innocent babies...
Oh my god, this is so wrong, especially considering, okay, Osama bin Laden made it pretty clear, why he felt that, he wanted to do 9/11, right? It was wrong either way, obviously. It was fucking evil. You don't get to, murder a bunch of people. And I say the same thing to anyone who murders any amount of people. But, he said something to the effect of, hey, we're trying to give a message to the American people, hey, stop interfering with the Middle East. The reason Osama bin Laden didn't like America, at least partially, was because of America's support for, Israel? Which, you can feel however you want about that. That's a complicated issue. But, it wasn't because of abortion. It was because people like him are making America, support, Like, Jerusalem is a state. What? To blame abortion is really, really stupid. Freaking Out 99, that goldfish wasn't that special. It wasn't a rhombus. Cascadia 93, 3,000 Americans died in this grifter. I can't stand it. Yeah.
We make God mad. I really believe that the pagans and the abortionists and the feminists and the gays and the lesbians...
Some of these things are not like the others. Tucker White 24. Wasn't he also pissed that the U.S. stopped funding his operations against the Soviets? Probably. I mean, America, like, funded what became Al-Qaeda. Catalina Gearbox donated $5. Abortion isn't murder. It's sending them back to God. Oh, God. Woof. I think the issue's more complicated than that, though I don't think abortion is murder. I think that's a pretty spicy way of putting it. How about that?
Lesbians who are actively trying to make that an alternative lifestyle, the ACLU, People for the American Way, all of them who tried to secularize America, I point the thing in their face and say, you helped this happen. Well,
Hey, Jerry, how do you feel about the fact that your kid, who now runs your university, had to... this guy's dead at this point, I think. Hey, Jerry, how do you feel about how your son just had to leave his position at the university because he got caught in his, like, cuck fetish where the pool boy would come and bang his wife and he'd be in the corner jerking it? How do you feel about that, dead Jerry Falwell? Is it your son's fault? Tucker White 24. Between Jerry Falwell and Pat Robertson, who do you find more insufferable? Well, at least Jerry Falwell's dead. So, wait, what? Yeah. Did you guys not hear about this? Jerry Falwell Jr. just had to leave as the head of the college that, like, was founded by his father because he got called out because the pool boy was with his wife. The pool boy was with Jerry Falwell's wife, and Jerry Falwell would watch from the corner. And I'm not here to kink shame. Like, if you're into that, that's awesome. I'm happy for you. But it's hypocritical coming from the guy who's like, gay people are sinning, and people at my university can't watch R-rated movies or else we're going to expel you. Meanwhile, he's at home, living out his best life, getting cucked for fun, which, hey... If that's, again, I'm not shaming that in particular. I'm glad he can do what makes him happy, and so can his wife, but, like, the hypocrisy, it's outstanding.
I totally concur.
Hey, this is Ken, who says, my niece has a huge painting of Buddha hanging on her living room wall. She's not a Buddhist. She bought it because the colors matched her sofa. Is having this artwork in her house considered idolatry?
Yes, it is. Who cares? People have all kinds of, like, religious things just for different reasons. Like, I have somewhere, it's not in here right now, I have a big statue of Baphomet, but I don't worship it, right? It's just a cool thing someone sent us at some point. Like... I have a phrenology head as something that I have in my, like, living room. Like, I don't believe in phrenology. People have things that are just cool to look at, even if they don't ascribe to the particular religion or belief system that it's based upon.
And you don't know what kind of demonic powers attached to that. I don't want to get super spiritual on this thing, but...
I don't want to get super spiritual. Well, why stop now, Pat?
Take that statue of Buddha, a picture of Buddha, and set it on fire.
Why? Why set it on fire?
These things...
Oh, there's the Baphomet. Yeah. It's a good statue of Baphomet, if you're gonna have one.
There's nothing funny about the tools of capitalism.
Thank you to Weepy Little Sheepy with 100 bits. Are all of my fat titty anime figures false idols? It depends on how often you coom tribute them.
Oh, stop talking about coom.
Hey, what do you mean stop? It's not like I went on a big tirade about it. I just mentioned it once.
Yeah, one too many. This is a coomless house.
That's true, actually. Oh, I need to take my meds. I forgot. Can you bring me my meds so this household can remain coom-free? My hormones do that, if you don't know. That's just an educational PSA. If you're on T blockers and estrogen, eventually, it's just dry. I'm talking about the actual, you know, the coom. This is the worst. I hate this stream. I hate this stream so much.
So they have demon prayers and people...
Sounds painful? It's not. It's not painful.
The tools of capitalism.
It's the same, just nothing comes out.
It's very pleasant for me.
Thank
I
you.
really hope that no one in my family is watching this.
Oh yeah, your brother
And my
does.
dad.
Oh no! That'd be a shame. Now I'm definitely like scared to meet them if I say this shit on stream.
My dad said worse.
Okay. Is it like a vasectomy? I think with a vasectomy, stuff still comes out. It just doesn't mix with semen.
Yeah, there's no sperm, but there's still semen.
Right. Antipodian squid with 200 bits. When we bought our house, the people who owned the house before us were Catholic. They left crosses nailed above each doorway and on occasional walls. I don't know why they didn't take them. It's just, don't leave your holy relics when you move.
They wanted to make sure that your home was still blessed for you.
I think that was probably it. They're like, oh, we'll just leave them some crosses, and then...
I'm sure they'll appreciate that.
It's like when you buy a house and people leave, like, toilet paper or, like, random things in the house.
Did someone leave toilet paper for you?
I think there was some left in the house. I don't know. It wasn't, like... Just when you buy a house, like... It's a little different than renting. Like, you don't necessarily feel the need to move everything. So, like, there was some paper towels, I think. There was some toilet paper. I don't know. There's still paint, which, of course, makes sense. Because why are you going to take the paint?
Yeah.
Because they match these walls, not the walls at the new house.
Yeah. That was a hiccup.
Bring one of these things into their homes, and all of a sudden they start getting headaches, and they start having marital discord, and they say, what's the matter? You've brought a demonic. The demon has attached itself to...
If you have marital problems, check and see if there are any hidden pictures of Buddha in your house. Apparently that's the problem. And not that your wife hasn't had a real orgasm in 30 years.
Are you joking? She's never had an orgasm.
Hey, maybe one time... They were on the church bus and they went down a bumpy road and it just had the shocks were shot. Real bumpy.
Yeah, but they don't talk about that.
Well, he doesn't know.
This piece of artwork, you just don't need these.
And
you know,
or when she cheated on him.
Christy, something happened a long time ago in Haiti. And people may not want to talk about it. They were under the heel.
That's the glue from the Hartnell model I have. The original glue, I took it off because it was like leaking through. Or it was like you could see it, so I wanted to use clear glue.
The French, you know, Napoleon III and whatever. And they got together and swore a pact to the devil. They said, we will serve you if you get us free.
No! That didn't happen.
And so the devil said, okay, it's a deal. And they kicked the French out. You know, the Haitians revolted and got themselves free.
It was a slave revolt, you dick. You're really gonna characterize a slave revolt as a deal with Satan, you fucking asshole?
That's right, capitalistic propaganda.
Thank you to Super Jake 18 for following. Super Jake 18, thank you for following.
Hannah?
Yeah.
Just swallow all the pills at one time.
No, I can't do that. It would literally waste them all because I'd just end up spitting them out. I can't do it. I can barely take one of these pills at a time.
But ever since, they have been cursed by one thing after the other.
I was gonna say, it's a good thing, like, we're lesbians, because if you had a dick, I would be real bad at, like...
I don't want to
There's
think
nothing
about
funny
having a
about the
dick.
tools of
It makes me
capitalism.
uncomfortable. And...
Imagine how I feel.
Oh, I know. I understand, love. Also, my dick would never be in your mouth, so...
What?
Would you want my dick in your mouth?
If you had one.
I'm confused.
Why are you confused?
I'm confused.
You know I'm bisexual.
I know you're
Desperately
bisexual,
poor.
but, like, I wouldn't
Now-
want my dick in your mouth.
Why?
Because...
If you were a dude, you would definitely want your dick in my mouth.
There's nothing funny about the tools of capitalism.
Wow.
Because... I don't really like any of my body parts in your mouth.
It looks like 30% of
I really hope none of your family is watching.
women are involved in pornography.
Antipodian squid with 300 bits. That's love. MMO addicted. I just imagining Baja's dad listening to this. Yeah. Yeah.
Spiritually, those who are involved in martial arts.
Cascadian 93. As a natal male, dicks and mouths are overhyped but decent.
Before they start are actually inhaling some demon spirit, and some of them do that, by the way. Yoga, I think, and some of these mantras you
No, I
say
don't want my toes sucked
definitely
on.
have Buddhist
if you
and
like
sometimes demonic
your toes
origins.
being sucked, that's
Behold
great.
the atheist's nightmare. Now, if you study a well-made banana, you'll find on the far side there are 3 ridges. On the
It's the classic. It's
Oh
the
my
classic Ray
God.
Comfort banana thing.
It's perfectly formed for your hand.
Artificial selection will do that.
close side 2 ridges. If you get your hand ready to grip a banana, you'll find on the far side there are 3 grooves, on the close side 2 grooves. The banana and the hand are perfectly made one for the other. You'll find the maker of the banana, Almighty God, has made it with a
Pengerzill, thanks for
non-slip
following.
surface. It has outward indicators of inward contents. Green,
No.
too early, yellow, just...
Yeah, that doesn't mean I want to. That doesn't mean I want to bang Ray Comfort. That's for sure. I hate how much I love his voice, says Cascadia 93. Did I tell you about the time Ray Comfort sent me a fruit
Right.
basket?
Black.
Okay.
Too late. Now, if you go to the...
One time, Jake and I did a review of one of Ray Comfort's awful movies. Tucker White with a bit. Does Ray Comfort know anything about the history of fruit? I don't think so. Gaylor DeCat, thank you for following. Welcome to the stream.
I'm gonna go with Ray Comfort doesn't know about the history of literally anything.
Yeah. So one time we did a review of one of Ray's movies, and one of his, like, assistants or something gave us, like, a false DMCA strike. And, like, he got shit for it on Twitter, and then he took the strike away and sent us a fruit basket with an apology. It was actually really nice. He's still an idiot, but, like...
What fruit was in the fruit basket?
It was a lot of pears, and there was some cheese. The cheese was pretty good. And, you know, gift basket stuff.
I've never had a gift basket. How would I know what's in a gift?
There were some crackers and fruit and cheese, and I don't know. There might have been some, like, special soap or something. I don't know. It was all right. Antipodian Squid with 34 bits. Is Jake still sour that he didn't get the fruit basket too? I don't know. That was when he was in a different state, so that would be why.
The top of the banana, you'll find, as with the soda can makers, they placed a tab at the top. So God has placed a tab at the top. When you pull the tab, the contents don't squirt in your face. You'll find the wrapper, which
It's where the stem of the banana goes.
is biodegradable, has perforations. Notice how gracefully it sits over the human hand. Notice it has a point at the top for ease of entry. It's
Do
just
I know
the right
Ed
shape
Wood?
for the human
Yeah,
mouth.
I'm familiar with
It's chewy,
Ed Wood. We
easy to
watched Glenn or Glenda on stream once because it's public domain.
And it's even curved toward the face to make the whole...
Pride Satan.
Yeah, here, let me do it in the chat so you can see it. This Satan emote, this is from Glenn or Glenda. I mean, the trans flag part, no, but that Satan is from an Ed Wood movie.
whole process so much easier. Seriously, Kurt, the whole...
Cascadia 93. There seems like a disappointing lack of figs from someone so religious. True. Wind Chanter with a bit. Remember Hannah? He was joking. Did he say that? Did he try and pull the I was only joking, guys? It was just a prank. Ray Comfort. MMO addicted with 25 bits. Hannah, I had some amazing cheese recently. Dyed black with sepia. Gouda, like with a slight lemony aftertaste. It was amazing. Hey, I'm down for pretty much any kind of cheese. Cheese is delicious.
The whole
and
of
I love
creation
it.
testifies to the genius of God's creative hand. It absolutely does.
Teach the controversy rather than try and censor out the information that shows
Yes.
that evolution
But,
is questionable.
Where did you study science?
Well, see, that's the point. Scientists are now claiming that they're the only ones that can speak on this issue.
Because they're the ones that study it, lady!
It's almost like a religion in which only scientists are allowed to speak and teach on it and to teach everyone else. And everyone else must believe what the scientists...
Medical science is like a religion because only doctors are allowed to perform surgery on people. Cascadia 93. Oh, Richard.
What particular scientists say, where is the evidence?
Picture of Ray Comfort and Big
evolution
Booty
from
Goth
one
Queer.
Species to another species, the macroevolution. There's
Funny.
microevolution within a species, but not going from one species to another.
Oh, really?
If we had gone from that broad of an evolution...
Wing the ultimate nug with a bit. Quick, you got 5 seconds. All cheese but one will stop existing. What one cheese would you like to reschedule? Oh, God. 5 seconds. Oh, no.
3, 2.
Parmesan!
I knew it was Parmesan.
I like Parmesan cheese. That's probably a bad choice, though. Because, like, what am I going to have? A pizza with just Parmesan cheese on it? That's going to be a sharp-ass pizza.
This video is hurting.
There should be overwhelming
I probably should have gone with mozzarella for pizza, but, you know.
tons of material evidence.
We
not
live
just an
with our
isolated,
choices.
Thing here and there. But again, there is not evidence.
Almost every fossil you find is intermediate with something and something
If that
else.
were the case, the Smithsonian Natural History Museum would be filled with these examples.
It is! Have you been there?
But instead,
It
they're
is.
not.
It is. I just told you about Australopithecus, Homo habilis, Homo erectus, Homo sapiens. By the way, archaic Homo sapiens and then modern Homo sapiens. That's a beautiful series of
You're
intermediates.
still lacking the material evidence.
The material evidence is there. Go to the museum and look at it. Have you seen Homo erectus? Have you seen Homo habilis? Have you seen Australopithecus? I've asked you that question.
What I've seen is that in the museums and in the textbooks that whenever they claim to show the evolution from one species to another, it relies on illustrations and drawings,
doesn't.
not the not any material evidence.
Can you point to any positive scientific evidence in favor of creation?
I think the fact, as you pointed out, DNA, I think DNA helps to show that each one of us are individuals. And
Catalina Gearbox with $3. Ah, the days when Dawkins wasn't insane. Yeah.
Okay,
And-
alright. This hurts me as a scientist. Something that I want to say, other than she's fucking moronic, is I am a 4th-year PhD candidate in reproductive and developmental genetics. So I know DNA very well. And if DNA helps show that each of us are individuals, why are humans 99.9% the same genetically? And why do we share all of the nucleotides that we have with everything else? Every other living thing on the world has like guanine, cytosine, thymine, adenine, and then in RNA it's uracil. Like why would the other animals have that if we didn't all come from the same thing? Like the Luca, least it's like the universal ancestor. I don't even have, I don't have the words. I'm so tired today. I don't have the words to explain why this lady's a dumbass. All of you know that she's a dumbass.
What happened with Richard Dawkins? Was he a transphobe? I know he said some stupid shit on Twitter. I don't remember, though. Someone fill me in. It's been a while. Tucker White 24. I think I see what you see in Baja now, Hannah. She's wonderful. Cascadia 93. I used to own a copy of this documentary. I don't anymore, and that's okay. I feel so 14 years old again. The nostalgia.
Nothing funny about the
And what I meant was Luca, last universal common ancestor. So it's like the theorized organism that everything on Earth stemmed from millions of years ago.
Antipodian Squid, 50 bits. Hannah, every time Baja speaks science, I love her more and want to join you two in a polycule. Too bad, she's mine.
I am, so, I can't pronounce it.
Who you in?
This one.
Galars Ducat.
Galars Ducat. My science is reproductive and developmental genetics. So basically what I'm studying is the proteins that are called transcription factors that allow embryos to develop. I use mice as a species to study this. Yeah.
But there have to be individuals for evolution to work. I mean,
I don't think that's the case. I think that the fact that each one, that if evolution had occurred, then surely, whether it's going from birds to mammals or even beyond that, surely there'd be at least one
there's a
evidence.
massive amount of evidence.
Oh, look, Earth's first land plants were small and moss-like. Oh, yeah? How do you know? Did you have a video camera there?
I think I've seen this. It's like a creationist Karen mom going to a museum and like trying to roast the exhibits.
Funny about the tools of
Cascadia 93, thank you for subscribing at Tier 1. Appreciate that.
Where's the tape? I want to see the evidence. Where's the evidence?
This is a 5-year-old's understanding of science. Where's the video? Do you have a video of it that it didn't happen?
Fossils? These fossils are the evidence because you have fossils of plants?
Yes, the fossils are basically imprints of the first plant life that existed, and you study that in order to gain an understanding of what the plant life on the planet at a certain period in time was like.
Is the evidence I'm supposed to believe that these were the...
Cascadia 93 finally decided to skip the bits and go all in. Thanks, I appreciate the sub.
First plants? How do you know? See, the reason they don't want you to...
Antipodian Squid with 50 bits. These idiots need to come and meet the cassowary. I dare them to meet one and say it's not related to dinosaurs. Cassowary. Cassowary. It's a bird. Ooh. That thing is kind of creepy for some reason to me. Let me see a video of one moving around.
Cassowaries hunting endangered animals to craft things, like which if you're...
I need actual footage of a live cassowary. Man dies after encounter with a cassowary, the world's most dangerous bird. Oh god, I'm pretty sure I have a sub to the Washington Post, but I don't feel like logging in.
The most dangerous, they make a loud, deep, booming sound that vibrates through the rainforest.
Cascadia 93 with 25 bits, just looking at coelacanth is enough. Looking at a coelacanth is enough. Antipodian Squid, we call them murder chickens. We Australians call them murder chickens.
On the other side, clean and maintain the exhibit.
Yeah, that looks scary.
Due to ongoing habitat loss, traffic-related fatalities, and introduced species, the southern cassowary is listed and encourage them to roadside stops or picnic areas.
Ugh. Yeah, I'd rather not fuck with one of those. Tucker White 24 with a bit. I wonder if you have to be Jeff Bezos rich to learn the real truth about creation. Weepy Little Sheepy, a better video of one up close.
There's nothing funny about the tools of capitalism.
Help me.
Oh god. rips you apart with its claws like a velociraptor.
Help.
That's some scary shit. I'd be a dumb tourist who wouldn't have known this prior and be like, oh, look at this big bird! Oh, look, it's coming to say hi! And then it's gonna, you know, gut me with its claws. Dang.
Say dragon is because they know there's evidence that people have seen something that looks like this.
Cascadia93, there's a giant turkey, Hannah. We're both from rural areas. Imagine a turkey at that size, and now you understand its aggression. I've never actually interacted with a wild turkey, though I have seen them. Tucker White 24, how is it real-life creatures are more brown pants-inducing than any monster you see in fiction? Well, because they're real. That'd be why.
And if that is the case, that there's evidence that people have seen something that looks like these things, then their whole time scale is off by, several hundred million years. And they do not want there to be...
Imagine trying to, with no, like, college education, or even just, like, an undergrad degree, even if it's in biology, like, trying to go into a museum of natural history and try and, like, smugly be like, actually, I know better than all these PhDs.
Be any possibility that a person ever saw
That's
a
the
dinosaur.
worst thing about the internet, and it's terrible because it's how I make my money too. It's that anyone can go on the internet and say whatever they want, and if you're confident, people will believe that your opinion is valid, which is why I try and, you know, I try and only have opinions on things that you don't need to be an expert in. Like, I find certain things cringy, or like, you know, if I'm talking about like John Doyle, just like, oh, he's a dick, you know? I don't need to be an expert to tell you that one. But the internet's been terrible for discourse as a whole. Everyone thinks that their opinion is equal to everyone else, and it's just not the case. Tucker White 24, even as someone who got a D in his college class on dinosaur biology, I could refute everything this woman is saying. Yeah. Which is why I think she's probably not a college graduate at all. And there's nothing wrong with that necessarily. I'm not either. I dropped out of college. But, like, I also don't pretend like I know better than people who actually went through and got their degrees and went on to be PhDs. Come on.
This is a fantasy.
Lady, do you literally know anything about fossils? I'm not gonna pretend I do, but I recognize that there are people who spend their entire life studying fossils, hominid fossils specifically, if that's your specialty. They didn't just pull this out of their butts.
This is a fantasy, like dragons. Like
This is a fantasy. The real story is that a magical man in the sky made us all, and he loves us all very much. Yeah, you're right. That's not a fantasy.
Except dragons aren't a fantasy. Like, but their idea of, oh, well, dragons aren't real. No, this isn't real. This is something they've just made up. Incredible.
There's nothing funny about the tools.
Cascadia93, I remember when Greg did the video on this again. I feel old. I hate that more than anything. Jake and I are coming up on 10 years on the internet. I mean, you know, doing this kind of thing. Obviously, what we've done has changed over time. We've moved from... We do less YouTube content, though we still do it and do more stream stuff like this. But on the internet, 10 years. It's crazy. Feels like an eternity in internet time.
Neanderthal man simply could have been a guy they found with a really big forehead.
Oh, awesome. This person is great. Cringe stuff. Alright, back to the wheel. What's next? We have another hour or so left in the stream. Probably stop if Jake starts streaming. Not sure when it'll be. Political cringe. Okay. That same person has some, like, right-wing cringe videos. We can check that out. Republican fails playlist. Dumb Republican compilation. Yeah, sure. We can watch this one. Jake said he wasn't streaming tonight. Okay, we'll just go to whenever, and then I'll raid someone else then.
We'll never have the elite, smart people on our side.
Barack Obama had a big part of 9/11.
Which part?
Not being around, always on vacation, never...
I imagine everyone understands why this is stupid, but 9/11 happened in 2001. Obama was elected president in 2008, which was 7 years later.
In the office.
Why do you think Barack Obama wasn't in the Oval Office on 9/11?
That I don't know. Would like to get to the bottom of that. It could be
Oh,
age.
sorry, I missed
What
your
makes you
tip.
think she
I
has
apologize. Catalina Gearbox with $5. I think this might be the first recorded case of a wild Karen. True.
Way her husband used to be.
So you think Bill had AIDS?
Yes.
So how did Bill Clinton get AIDS?
Probably messing around with Magic Johnson.
If we want to ship Bill Clinton and Magic Johnson, I guess I'm here for it, but, you know, whatever.
That's the natural conclusion?
Yes.
He's a Muslim. He has a Muslim father. That's his background. And he reads the Quran.
You talked about him.
Do people on the right understand that even if Obama was Muslim, like, you can be Muslim and be president of the U.S.? That's not against the law. He's not, obviously. I don't even necessarily know if he's really Christian. It might just be sort of political Christian, because in the United States you have to be a Christian to, like, get into office. But, like, does it matter, right? Like, even if he was a Muslim, it's very clear he didn't, like, use it anywhere in his presidency. He was just, like, a pretty middle-of-the-road center liberal, right? Like, he's better than a lot of the other presidents we've had recently, but he didn't do anything crazy. Tucker White 24. Oh, Christ, I'm too sober for this. Have I seen the movie Idiocracy? Yes, I've seen the movie Idiocracy.
I'm going to Reverend Wright's church for 20 years.
Yes.
But now you also think he's a Muslim.
Well, he is a Muslim. His father was a Muslim, his father was an atheist, and his father was a communist.
Okay. But you understand that you can't be an atheist and a Muslim at the same time, right? These words have meanings. You can't just, like, pretend they're all the same thing, because in your head you think they mean bad. Cascadia 93. Wait, don't you remember? There was a whole thing from an interview. People think you have to swear on a Bible for anything involving court. Yeah, you don't do that. Most places don't do that anymore. They just, like, do you swear to tell the whole truth? Nothing but the truth for, like, court stuff.
Was his father a Muslim, or was his father an atheist?
He's all three.
Socialism. Socialism. Socialism.
It's not spelled right.
Do you have a marker?
No.
Oh.
Wait, what is socialism?
There is a definition. I can look it up really quick. Let me get the definition for you.
Tell me just in principle. Don't tell me the dictionary.
Okay, so socialism, it's basically like the views of Hitler. It's
Don't tell Hitler that. I think he'll be real mad.
It's the in-between, it's like between communism and, I don't know what the other word is, but it's between, it's like the medium between two views.
No. Cascadia 93. Is that your solemn vow? Is the atheist one. I've done it when I was called in for jury duty. Okay. Geller's cat. Oh, sorry. Geller's de cat with 100 bits. Off to sleep soon, almost 1:30 a.m. here in Netherlands. It's been fun watching this channel. Thanks. Thanks for coming to the stream. Hope you have a good night.
between communism and another view, but I don't know exactly.
David USA 94, thanks for subscribing with Twitch Prime.
This country's just full of idiots. They need to wake up. We don't need to become a socialist country. What's happening is they want to take the money from the hard-working man and give it to the guy that only wants to come to work 2 days a week.
No, I actually think they're trying to take it from the richest 1% in this country and give it to you.
I don't care what people can do for me. I only care what's good for the economy.
Tucker White 24. What aspect of Obama is possibly socialist? Exactly. Doesn't make any sense. I hate people like this, too. The guy's like, I don't care what's good for me. I only care what's good for the economy. You're part of the economy. This is the problem, is that wealth has been concentrated at the very, very top, and people can't afford health care or, like, to move upward in terms of, like, if they want to start their own business. People can't afford this stuff because wealth has been pushed upward towards the top of the pyramid, like a pyramid scheme.
I don't care for the government. They don't show me anything.
You get food stamps.
Yeah, but I think I deserve food stamps. I have no employment.
I hate Obama.
There's nothing funny about
These people are such idiots. I don't do anything from the government except for the food stamps, and I think I deserve them. Yeah, yep. If you can't afford food, everyone deserves food stamps. That's the government. Good job. Tucker White. I wish Obama was socialist, these people he thought he was. Then we might actually have got things like single-payer healthcare. Agreed. Wing the ultimate nug with a bit. Honestly, if this continues, America will legit become a feudal society like before the Industrial Revolution. I have no idea where things are gonna go. Shit's about to get real spicy after November, regardless of which way the election goes. And it's a toss-up at this point. I wish I could tell you, oh, Biden's got this in the bag. He doesn't. And even then, even if Biden wins, we just have, like, a centrist. That's still a better place to move from than, like, Trump, who's, like, a crazy far-right fascist. But, like, at the end of the day, we're still moving from, like, oh, no, now we gotta work with a centrist. It's gonna be bad, no matter what. We'll see what happens, but please vote in November. Like, seriously, it does matter. Did you guys see Trump said, like, these are my Supreme Court picks if Ruth Bader Ginsburg dies or, like, whoever gets out of the Supreme Court next. And his picks are Ted Cruz, Zodiac Killer, Ted Cruz, and a guy who, with this announcement, literally tweeted, Roe v. Wade must go. Even if you hate Biden, understand that the rights of people are going to be taken away if Trump is reelected. You need to vote and understand that this is about more than the presidency. Hello.
Our grocer only missed 2 things, and it's probably because they weren't in stock.
What were they?
Toilet paper.
Oh,
and,
we really need to get toilet paper.
Like a soup thing.
Okay.
It'll be okay.
Obamacare. I think it's retarded and
sure.
Pointless.
But a lot of people in Mississippi need health care.
Yeah.
It's important to believe in, to have respect for everyone's religion.
So you respect Christianity?
No, it's been like that for a while.
Wow. I guess I am not perceptive.
I do.
Judaism?
Yes.
Islam?
No.
Do you think
Hypocrites. These people are all hypocrites. You can't say you respect religious freedom and then say there's a specific religion you don't respect. I'm not even saying you have to respect a specific religion, right? Like, I don't respect any religion in particular, right? I just understand that, like, it's a human right that you should have the right to believe whatever you want as long as you aren't, like, going out and using it to hurt other people. And that's fine. It's so ridiculous.
a gay couple should have the same rights as a...
No, I don't. I really don't. I don't think it's fair.
To the gay couple?
Well, no, but the regular couple, they work so hard, you know.
Is this a lazy gay stereotype that I haven't heard before?
And the gay couple, they want more.
When you say more, do you mean equal?
Yeah, they want equal in that.
And that's just too much.
Yeah.
These extreme nations, they don't treat women with respect.
We treat women with respect here.
Yes, we do.
That's an American ideal.
Yeah.
Tell me about your shirt. What's it say?
It says, Hillary sucks. But not like Monica.
Hilarious.
These people are so fucking absurd. I hate them.
So we were talking about treating women with respect.
It's an American ideal that we treat women with respect.
You gotta give me the back of that shirt one more time. That's too much fun.
Trump that bitch!
We don't even see the irony in it. I love it, right?
My president comes on the TV and he lies to me. I know he's lying.
Wind chanter with a bit. The cognitive dissonance tastes like circus peanuts.
He lies all the time.
Look, friend.
I don't believe any one of them. Not one. I believe Donald.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
I'm telling you, he says what I'm thinking. Exactly.
If Donald Trump says what you're thinking, you are a fucked up person, fundamentally. Seriously. Like, people need to hear that. If you hear Donald Trump speak, and you go, I was just thinking that, you're fucked up. You're fucked up. Morally, mentally, all sorts of ways. Very ridiculous.
Like, Barack Obama, is he bisexual or homosexual?
Well, that's what they're saying.
Right.
He must be.
And
he had a guy.
And what happened? He's having an affair with a guy.
Yeah.
And
the weird thing is, and it's so funny to me, because even though, like, Obama's a pretty center liberal dude, like, at the end of the day, in terms of, like, being a respectable president, a respectable head of state who held the office with, like, dignity, the dude, like, nailed it, right? I think he knew that, like, he's the first black president, and people are already gonna be, like, saying all sorts of awful things about him, so he needs to be above reproach. And for the most part, he was. You know what I mean? We can talk about, like, decisions that he made that we completely disagree with, and I'm with you on that. Like, I think he tried to work with Republicans way too much. Like, he was way too milquetoast with, like, Obamacare and, like, getting rid of the public option and a bunch of bullshit. Like, continuing, like, Middle East wars and drone strikes, and that's shit. But that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about, like, just not being a shit human being as a head of state, right? Like, he held it with, like, the utmost dignity, and I think it just fried people on the right's brains, right? Like, they got mad at him over wearing a tan suit, and now Donald Trump can come out and say 50 dumb fuck things a day, or the most racist shit, or talk about how he thinks soldiers are, like, losers, or, like, whatever, and they're just like, whatever, I don't care, at least he's white. It's ridiculous. Odd Foam, thanks for following.
the only reason he got married, just to fool people, that he's a heterosexual.
I think if Obama wins...
Do they know that, like, again, this is the same as the Muslim thing. Even if Obama was gay, you can be president and be gay. You can be president and be gay. Like, it doesn't matter.
We'd basically have another Russian Revolution in America.
The way all the youth, colleges, all the youth are up behind him, and all I could think of was Hitler's youth.
Fuck you, lady. Really? The Hitler Youth were like 12 years old and they were being indoctrinated by a fascist state. Young people liked Obama because he, like, gave out a message of, like, we're gonna give hope and, like, try and do things for the future that are positive. Because as it turns out, when old people starved and dismantled the government over the last 40 or 50 years, it really fucked over young people. So now young people would like politicians who rebuild government institutions and help people.
And the movies that as I, as a kid, used to see. And it just reminded me of that.
Tucker White 24, but Hannah, the Bible says the gays is wicked. And the Bible says a lot of stuff.
And the people needed something because they were downtrodden. They had no money. You know, the money was bad. Everything was happening bad. And this is how a person gets into power and does things that they shouldn't do. And it's very scary.
I looked into his eyes and I see evil. I see 666 in his eyeballs. That's what I see. He's really popular. And how does someone come from nowhere and become that popular?
Because his messaging was, like, really, really good. Again, we can, like, shit talk Obama all day for being, like, a centrist, and I'm right there with you once again, but, like, the messaging of that campaign was phenomenal. It was, like, really, really good, and that's why people got behind him.
Same thing happened with Hitler. I think he hates all people. I think he just wants to destroy. I think he wants to destroy this earth.
My very first thought about Barack Obama was that 666 crossed my mind, you know, and I was thinking Antichrist, you know, from old movies and things of the Antichrist that you used to see, someone tall, charismatic, a lot of ties with Europe or from Europe. That instantly flashed in my mind, and I thought, oh my goodness, this is
Oh
him.
no, the president, like, having a good relationship with our allies in Europe? The horror.
He's related to a known terrorist, for one. He is friends with a terrorist of this country.
He must support terrorists. You know, if it walks like a duck and quacks like a duck, it must be a duck.
Guys,
And that, to
Obama
me,
is cool,
Obama.
but this is
Obama
cool.
is a Muslim. He's a terrorist. Nobody will ever tell me different. Do I have proof? No. Do I
Oh
have
no, not
articles?
the EU,
No.
the horror.
Your mind is made up without any information.
My mind is made up.
When he was asked the question, what do you think about McCain, that he hasn't attacked your religion yet or your faith? And he said, my Muslim faith. Twice, my Muslim faith. So
Right, because he's understanding that that's the question he's being asked, because people will say that he's Muslim even though he's not.
he's saying that he has a Muslim faith.
No, he's not, and even if he did, it wouldn't matter. Like, do you think I'm a fan of like every single president being Christian? No, but at the end of the day, people are gonna have their beliefs. Like, if someone was running for president and they happened to be Muslim, but their policies were actually progressive and left-leaning, I would vote for them, right? Someone's religion, as long as it doesn't interfere with their politics, shouldn't matter at all.
And what's your source?
Just Facebook or Twitter. I mean, everything. And
So you'll look at like facts and bull. You'll put it all together.
Exactly.
A delicate question of whether or not it should happen in the case of rape or incest. What do you think, for you personally, is your position on that?
Honestly, that I think rapists shouldn't be allowed in this country because
Rapists shouldn't be allowed in this country. Bad news, bud. The rapists are coming from inside the house. People who rape are not coming from other countries to rape. Most rapists in this country are just American citizens, because most people in this country are American citizens. Catalina Gearbox with a $5 donation. That's why Trump is president. Christians are literally afraid of likable people because they're scared he might be the Antichrist. That almost makes sense.
we have seen like so many cases of rape issues, and obviously that needs to be
I think
brought
we all agree that rape shouldn't be allowed. The question is whether or not, abortion should be allowed if the pregnancy is a result of rape.
American scientific companies are crossbreeding humans and animals and coming up with mice with fully functioning human brain.
What do you think? Barack Obama.
I'm not too partial to the blacks, so.
Well,
What do
there
you
you go.
mean?
He said the quiet part out loud.
2008. You can't say that.
Why can't I say that? I'm in the South,
Is he allowed to say that?
and I live even further south. I live even further south than this.
Is America ready for a black president?
What?
MMO addicted with 10 bits. Inside the White House, even. Yeah, I get it.
America might be, but the South ain't.
Here's the thing, too. Is this fucking disgusting what this guy is saying? Yes, but at least he's being honest. I am so sick of people on the right dog whistling and lying. If you're gonna be a racist, stop being a coward on top of it and just tell us so we can show other people and be like, this is why. They're just racist shits. Stop trying to hide. At least own up to what you are, you assholes.
Why not?
Because we're a little further back than that. If it was left up to me, you wouldn't vote yet.
Me?
Yeah, you're a woman.
Why not?
Because you're a woman.
You don't think women should be able to vote?
I mean, that's just how backwards I am.
I don't think there was.
Imagine being proud of being that big of a piece of shit. Like, legit. What the heck? He's like John Doyle in 20 years.
Was any racism until Obama got elected.
That we never had problems like this.
We weren't racist until you elected a black president, and then we got racist for no reason. That's a Galaxy Brain take.
You know, I'm in the real estate industry. There's none. Now, you know, with the...
Tucker White 24, sadly, I can kind of respect him for being upfront about his bigotry. Like, in a weird way, I get it. Like, I'd rather that person be honest about their shitty behavior than to hide. It's still deplorable and they're a disgusting person. But, like, if you're gonna be a disgusting person, at least be open and honest about it so people can know to keep away from you and to not respect your opinion. Annabelle, thank you for following. Welcome to the stream.
People with the guns and shooting up neighborhoods and not being responsible citizens, that's a big change. And I think that's the philosophy that Obama has perpetuated on America. And if
I think that Obama is going to get sworn in on the Quran, and I think that he's going to say, my name is Barack Hussein Obama.
I mean, I don't know if they say the middle name, but that is his middle name. They're so scared of Obama's middle name. Have you ever noticed that? What's up with that, right? Ooh, his middle name is Hussein. Like, yeah, that's his middle name. And what's your point?
Watch and see if that doesn't happen.
Barack Obama is a terrorist. Obama, Osama, the same thing.
Words sound alike. Me no understand difference when words sound alike. These fucking troglodytes. I hate them. FYI, LEGO have announced an Mos Eisley Cantina set. It opens up to show the inside of the cantina and comes with over 20 minifigs, including the Cantina Band. Ooh, nice. You promised Cringe. You've delivered profoundly.
Swear him in. He's going to have his hand on the Quran, and he's going to take off his mask. It's going to be Osama bin Laden. That's so...
Honestly, that would have been the greatest, like, twist of all time. Just like, I, Barack Hussein Obama, do solemnly swear to carry out the whatever, I don't know the exact oath when you take president, and then he rips off the mask and it's Saddam, it's Osama bin Laden, and then the JoJo's Bizarre Adventure thing goes doon 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 doon. Honestly, that timeline probably would have been better than the one we're currently in, so. Weirdly, I think Osama bin Laden as president probably would have been like, hey, there's a global pandemic, let's get some experts in here.
Who he is.
What's the problem?
I believe that Barack Obama's religious beliefs do govern his foreign policy.
And what are his religious beliefs?
I believe that he is a Muslim.
He's not! It's legitimately... I wonder with these people, do they understand that the reason they believe that is because he's not a white guy? Or do they just, like, have that instinct and they don't even understand where it's coming from? It's literally because he's not white that they believe this shit. It's so disgusting.
You do?
Yes.
How many of you believe that?
Tucker White 24, if Obama was Muslim, idiots thought he was, he would not have droned the Middle East as much as he did. Yep.
Here.
How many believe?
Wow. You believe he's a Muslim?
Yes.
And you think that's having an impact on what he says and does?
Fundamentally, yes.
Absolutely.
Jack?
Yes, I do also.
Now, do you understand the implications of what you're saying here, what the media is going to say about this group and about Iowa caucus voters in the future? You realize what you're opening up here?
It's weird to me that that's what the Fox... I mean, it's not weird. It's Fox News. What he should be saying here is there's no evidence for that. You need to fact-check these people, but it's Fox News. So he's not doing that. He's saying, oh, you know what people are going to say about you for saying that. He's not saying that's unfounded. He's trying to whip them up into, like, you're the victims.
Okay, so what media do you trust?
Caucuses are the worst, by the way. Can we get rid of caucuses? They're the dumbest thing ever.
Yeah, I'm a Fox News watcher.
Probably the only one I trust is Fox News.
Fox is the best.
But is that just because they're telling you what you want to hear?
No.
No,
not at
they
all.
provide both fair and balanced.
They stay fair and balanced, so it has to be. Genius. Oh, shit. More political cringe? Oh, no. Fine.
We won with poorly educated. I love the poorly educated.
Yeah, we know, Donald. We know.
Huma Abedin appears to have a Muslim name, and maybe they're connected some way in a form of traitorism against America.
Traitorism?
Do you think because she has the name Huma Abedin, she might be a traitor?
Well, she might be. I don't know. Honestly, I don't know. I can't really say that.
Go Trump. His name's not Hillary.
Neither is Bernie's.
Yeah, but he's a socialist.
Okay, what does that mean?
He just...
OCP with a bit. Listen to god-awful movies, and all the apocalypse movie antichrists are personable Europeans that talk about peace. Obama was personable, black, and Muslim, worse than European. Oh god, apocalypse movies like that are antichrist are just the worst.
His just not, like, he's just not good. Like, I don't like him at all.
Okay.
How do you feel about the issue of sexual assault and whether it's a...
Let me ask you this. When he said that, he was a Democrat. He's opened his eyes, now he's a Republican.
What a bold take. Trump was a Democrat when he sexually assaulted women, so it's okay now. What?
Sorry for it.
Okay.
Who said communist down here? What did you mean by that?
Well, all you have to do is study it out. Just study it out and you'll see. You haven't done your homework, buddy.
And what do I need to study?
Go to somebody else. He's a communist. And those of us who are not voting for him know it.
And what do you mean by communist?
You don't know?
No, just tell me. Help me out here.
You don't know?
I just want to know what you mean.
Oh, I know what I mean.
Well, help me.
These people just know these words are scary and they're scared by them, but they don't know what they mean.
You're on national television.
When I was a little girl, we used to watch films about how communists were infiltrating the country and to take our women, so I think the word is scary.
I know I'm on national television.
Well, tell me what you mean when you just accuse a guy of being a communist. Do you think he's an American?
You just study it out.
Is he an American?
Oh, no.
He's not an American?
No.
What is he? What country is he from?
Just because he was born here doesn't mean that he thinks like us. He's a
It's a race thing. Jesus Christ, these people.
Communist, buddy.
Again, when she says stuff like that, it makes me wonder, does she know this is entirely racially motivated? Because it's very clear by what she's saying it is. So does she know? Or is it so intrinsic to her thought process that she says racist shit and doesn't understand that's where those feelings are coming from, and she doesn't make that connection? I genuinely don't know.
Okay, thank you.
Because these people are stupid. Like, they're stupid enough that they genuinely might not understand that the, like, gut feeling they're getting is, like, racism, right? Like, ooh, he just makes me uncomfortable. He's different. I don't know why. I can't put my finger on why he makes me uncomfortable. It's because he's not a white guy. It's because he's not a white guy. That'd be why.
Well, we need to focus on getting the homeless off the streets, give them housing.
Oh, thank God.
And Michelle, that's a man.
So do you think, wait, what did you say?
Michelle's a man.
Michelle Obama's a man?
Yeah, a she-male.
Okay, what proof do you have?
You can see all over the media, in pictures and everything.
If you could describe... That's my least favorite, like, bullshit Obama's conspiracy theory about Michelle Obama being a trans woman. Because firstly, even if she was, it would be no one's business other than her own. And secondly, she's not. She's not. Right? It's such a weird lie to make up.
Donald Trump in 3 words, what would they be?
3 words. Smart, brilliant, and a good negotiator.
That's an extra word?
A man of his word, but it's got to be a single word thing, right?
If you could describe him in 3 words, what would they be?
Perfect, majestic, perfect again.
If you could describe him in 3 words, what would they be? Powerful. He's not a bitch.
Not a bitch. Again, why is this so hard for these people?
Manly. And if you could describe Donald Trump in 3 words, what would they be?
I would say he's... Okay, can you edit this?
Yeah.
Okay. He is...
I don't know. Well, can you ask me the questions beforehand so I can think about it?
I come from a Christian background, so definitely like something that's good for me because like now we get to actually celebrate like Christmas and stuff.
You weren't celebrating Christmas before.
No, we do, but like it's like Christmas, like it's not like.
But you like wouldn't get each other gifts.
Tucker White 24 with a bit. I love that these people got more angry at the strawman Obama instead of the illegal ass shit he actually did as president. Oh, because they don't care. They're fine with like droning brown people. They love that shit. So they have to make up things to dislike Obama for. It's ridiculous.
Oh, we do that too.
Oh, so
yeah, but it's
what weren't you doing
but
before?
people like say, you know, happy holidays, and other people like,
oh, and
no,
that was
it's, like,
offensive to you.
Yeah, it's not offensive. I'm like offended by
so
it.
you didn't really, it wasn't even really an issue before.
No, it wasn't an issue for me, but like.
But you feel good about it now that you can do it.
Yeah, now it's like.
First of all, I hate this whole war on Christmas thing. It's so ridiculous. No one said you can't say Merry Christmas to people. People say Happy Holidays and have for a long time. Like, even if you're Christian, Christmas isn't the only holiday that happens in December, you idiot. New Year's, you fucking morons. Happy Holidays, that's what it initially meant, like Merry Christmas and Happy New Year, but all in one. And now it just makes sense to say, because there are people who also celebrate other things around the time. And they're all like, oh, liberals, people on the left get so triggered. And meanwhile, the second a cashier's like, oh, Happy Holidays, they go, oh, Merry Christmas! I'm so triggered! It's so annoying, and I hate it.
Like, he's just like, okay, it's Christmas, and everyone's like, okay.
We can feel good that it's Christmas again.
Exactly.
Merry
Even if we
Christmas,
never felt any different before.
Right.
Do you have an issue with Roy Moore?
No, I don't. He's a man of God, and so
Roy Moore, pedophile.
definitely, like, I don't believe anything that anyone says about that.
You don't beat the women?
Mm-mm.
No?
And I'm not, like, downing any of the women that have actually been sexually assaulted.
Isn't that exactly what we're doing?
No, it's not. I'm not saying like, oh, like, no, it's a very like serious issue, and I definitely understand it.
Under no circumstance should we doubt those women
No,
in that sense.
definitely.
I don't want to be one of those people who just doubts women because
Yeah, exactly. I'm not trying to do that.
No.
And there's such a fine line between it.
It's like it's a partisan line.
Right.
And so if it affects the person I'm rooting for, it's like then I know where I stand.
Right, exactly.
In response to this new ad and the fact that Nike is paying Colin Kaepernick to be in these ads, conservatives have predictably lost their collective mind.
Tucker White with a bit. Since we now celebrate Christmas starting in October, you could argue Christmas now encompasses Halloween and Thanksgiving, yeah.
Once again. And just like they did with their Yeti coolers and their Keurig coffee machines, they're now destroying their Nike apparel. I guess in an attempt to own the libs, maybe to get back at Kaepernick. I don't know what it is, but they're out there posting videos of themselves, pictures.
The funny thing is, too, when, like, Republicans and people on the right do, like, a cancel culture, even though I don't think cancel culture is, like, a thing. I think people just choose to do, like, I'm gonna buy products or whatever. But, like, let's say, I don't know, like, this is a Coca-Cola glass, right? Let's say Coca-Cola tomorrow came out and was, like, super transphobic for some reason. And I decided I'm never going to buy Coke again, or at least not until they change, like, their company policy or whatever it might be. Like, that doesn't change the fact that I own this Coca-Cola glass, and I'm still gonna use it, right? Like, why would I destroy my own property? It's not gonna hurt the company. It's not gonna help the company if I use it. It's so stupid. Like, if you don't support Nike for whatever reason, that's fine, but why destroy your own clothes? Such a waste. Bellstar, stop the war on Halloween. Also, dicks out for Harambe. Daddy Sume with a bit. Christmas declared war on Thanksgiving, conquered it, and now is eyeing Halloween with hungry eyes. Time for a policy of appeasement.
Cutting up Nike socks, Nike shirts, burning their Nike shoes that probably cost them $100 or more. You already own the product. They have your money.
Not only am I burning my favorite pair of Nikes, you are burning your sales.
We are for Trump all the way.
You think they have a point over there?
No.
No? How come?
Because I'm for Trump and he's the only man that can make America realize that we need to stand up for our rights.
What happened to your rights?
They've been taken away by Obama.
What do you think about the idea of...
It's legit like these people just emotionally and viscerally don't like Obama because he's black, and they don't know how to put that into words or like to somehow coalesce that into like a valid point. So they just start saying buzzwords they've heard on Fox News. It's kind of fascinating in like a disgusting Lord of the Flies kind of way. We worship Lord Greenwald. Not sure what that's a reference to.
Loving thy neighbor.
You don't want somebody living next door to you that's going to sneak over and murder you in your sleep.
Who's going to do that?
Muslims?
Grab it while you can, Trump.
What is it?
The pussy! Yeah, grab it all while you can! Except I can't talk like that in front of my daughter.
You just did!
How shit must this daughter feel that her dad is literally celebrating someone talking about sexually assaulting people? What a fucked up situation to be in.
He represents the godly people of the United States of America.
You think he's always acted like a good Christian?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
How can you build that kind of empire if you're not praying to God for good things every day?
Oh my god, people are so stupid. Wing the ultimate nug, but Hannah, they can't be racist because racism is bad, and they can't be bad. They are the main character in this story. Yeah, that's definitely how a lot of them think. Tucker White 24, the only credible argument to the Obama took her rights line is how he shat all over the Fourth Amendment more than Bush did. Even then, Trump's continued that. Yeah, that's an executive power overreach thing, and that's a general problem America has. That was a Glenn Greenwald video, the one about Nikes. Oh, okay, gotcha.
What if a picture of Trump surfaced showing him smoking crack? Would you still vote for him?
Absolutely.
What if he stood in the middle of Fifth Avenue and shot somebody? Would you still vote for him?
Absolutely.
Even if he got a tattoo on his forehead that said, "Sit here, ladies"?
Absolutely.
What would it take for Trump to lose your vote?
Nothing. There's nothing he could do to lose my vote. No matter what he says or does, I will vote for Donald Trump.
If he thinks he's good, then he must be good.
It's so bizarre that these people are like so religiously devoted to their party too. It's really messed up. Like I could name about a million things that any Democratic candidate or whatever or any candidate could do to lose my vote. What is this like cult of personality where you think no matter what they do they're good? It's bizarre. Tucker White 24, I won't lie, that would be effing cool if Trump smoked crack. Daddy Sume says Republicans do tribalism very well. Yeah.
He's right with everything else.
Are you willing to take his word for it? Whoever Trump says to vote for, you vote for.
I do. Anything he says, he hasn't. Everything he says is true. It comes true.
I think it's maybe just it makes you comfortable talking with other frustrated, sometimes angry people.
Yes.
But maybe it's not true because there's no evidence of it.
Mr. Maximum Austin with 100 bits. Thanks for braving the cringe, Hannah. Love what you do. Thank you.
But it's just stuff being talked about on the internet, right?
There hasn't been any non-evidence yet.
That's not how claims work. The schooling system in this country is like let's say, you know, if humans exist, you know, 5,000 years from now, and they're looking at America as an empire, similar to how do we look at, like, I don't know, Rome and the fall of Rome. I'm telling you, one of the bullet points on the why the American Empire fell is going to be mishandling of the school system, degradation of the general public's intelligence and critical thinking ability. It's real bad. Tucker White 24. Seriously, even liberals don't suck Obama's metaphorical dick this hard, and he was far more charismatic than Trump. Yeah, it's weird.
Voting is a privilege in this country, and you need
No, voting is a right. You have the right to vote.
to be legal, not like California where 3 million illegals voted.
You believe that there was one.
That's not the case. There's no statistic that shows that 3 million illegals are voting. How would they be voting? In order to register to vote, you have to have, like, a social security number and pay taxes and stuff. Not even necessarily pay taxes, but, like, if you have a social security card and you're working, you're paying taxes, right? So, like, you need to have identification in order to vote. These people just believe the most ridiculous stuff. Wind Chanter with 4 bits. Remember, Hannah, Mexico will pay for the wall.
Widespread voting abuse.
I think there was in some states.
In the millions of people.
California allows it.
No, they don't. Where do these people get this shit?
They do not allow illegal. You mean
Voter fraud, California allows.
This is the kind of person that needs to lead our country. God can use anybody. He used the harlots. And that's the thing. It's all about what God can do. God can do this. God can use this man. When Bill Clinton was president, my children came home from school and they had no idea it was actually called the Oval Office. They thought it was called the Oral Office because of
As funny of a joke as that is, that definitely didn't happen.
the talk in the elementary schools.
Okay,
Bill Clinton
okay.
educated my children at a much younger age than I wanted to.
But Vicky, Bill Clinton isn't running for president right now.
Exactly.
We're talking about
Tucker
Hillary
White 24
Clinton.
No, but
Wade.
his
When did
wife
harlots
is.
lead the country?
His wife is, and they are a pair.
To allow her husband to disrespect her, I think that's horrible.
You're holding that to Hillary?
What we sow is what we receive.
So what's worse, Hillary allowing Bill to cheat or Donald Trump cheating?
Well, I want to be clear. I said Hillary Clinton has allowed anyone to do anything. Bill is his own man.
But you're connecting his actions to Hillary.
But because he is Hillary Clinton's husband.
But you're not connecting Donald Trump's actions to Donald Trump.
But we can get along. We've been getting along for years. Until Obama stepped in there and started up the racial divide.
Like, legit, these people, I think, just think, like, everything's fine as long as, like, people of color know their place. Like, I legit think that's where they're coming from when they say this stuff about Obama. Like, they're like, oh, all these racial tensions, it's Obama's fault. It's like they're a second away, but they stop themselves from saying something like, oh, they're getting all uppity. You know what I mean? It's disgusting. Like, it's like they think, well, as long as you sit down, shut up, and know your place, everything's fine. Like, no, motherfuckers, that's not how this works. Winging the ultimate nug with a bit. Hannah, you know some of these people think Hillary is literally and not metaphorically, but actually a real demon from hell. Yeah, I know. I know the QAnon stuff.
I think we were all doing good.
I don't like the fact that he thinks us white people are trash.
Cascadia 93 with a bit. These people learn from their inner circles who are also as uneducated and indoctrinated, and they circle jerk to the points of near Nazism becoming of normal discussion. Yeah. It's scary.
Because we're not.
Space Force. We need it.
Making space great again.
And I am so excited about Space Force. I think ISIS could get to space.
Space Force is the thing, and I know people make fun of Space Force. There's nothing inherently wrong with the idea of Space Force. It was already a plan that, like, this branch of the Air Force was going to split off into Space Force. This has been a plan for a long time, and it makes sense. It's so they can get their own, like, budgetary stuff without it being on the umbrella of the under the umbrella of the Air Force. And that's fine. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. I don't think Trump gets points for it either, though, because it wasn't his plan. It was something that was already planned, and then he's like, yeah, let's move forward with this. But the people who are like, oh, it means we're going to have spaceships and have space battles, that's stupid. That's not what it's for. Daddy Sume with a bit. Space terrorists.
Space ISIS?
Space ISIS.
Pretty much we need regulations in space.
Tucker White 24 with a bit. Hannah, as long as you ignore slavery, segregation, and oh, I can't even finish it with a straight face. Yeah. Islamic State in space.
Because you can do whatever you want.
Isn't Trump against regulation?
Yeah, but I just stuttered myself here. You know what? Space Force. It's just a cool name.
I got the marshmallows.
All right. While Steve roasts his marshmallows,
That's a little dangerous.
Watch your
They're
fingers.
small. They're a little small. Can we get a stick?
Fox News host is an idiot. More news at 11.
Somebody got a stick with That's hot.
If it's hot enough to cook your marshmallow, you idiot. Like, like, I'm pretty sure, like, Homo erectus could figure out, like, I need to put this on a stick to cook it so my hand doesn't get burned. Fox News host is like, yes, cook my hand in the fire.
Ouch.
You're really going to do that with your hands?
Yeah, you're right.
Not going to.
Upon further review, we're looking for a stick.
No, not plastic. That's banned from the environment. Oh.
It's gonna melt. Fox News hosts have no critical thinking ability. My
These two
God.
guys,
you're fired.
I don't know what exactly they're doing. Chris, could I talk a little politics? Chris, can you hear us?
I can hear you. I'm watching this, and I'm thinking, well, I'm thinking what all of your viewers are thinking.
Which is?
What a bunch of dopes.
Yes.
I disagree with these experts. Somebody's got to stand up to experts.
You don't claim that dinosaurs and humans walk side by side, do you? Of course I do. Dinosaurs were on the ark? Yes, that's what I would teach.
I'm going to do the best I can to help, forward those ideas.
What about dinosaurs? Were dinosaurs on the ark? No! Yes. Sure they were. We don't know.
You used to call me on the cell phone.
Look, if anyone sees this stream in the future and there's some kind of like archive of like, oh, this is like, when mass visual media became a thing, and someone wants to watch this and like see what people thought about America.
Funny about the tools of
we did our best. We did our absolute best. The stupidity just got too much. I don't know the answer, but yeah. Someone effed up somewhere. Oh God. Tucker White 24. I never thought I'd long for more Channel Awesome cringe, but that Fox News bit was, yeah, that was bad. Let's maybe do one more thing, and then we'll probably call it an end to the stream. Religious cringe, okay. We did that one.
There's nothing funny about the tools of capitalism.
Let's do just the whole... No, I don't want to do that. 23 anti-gay Republicans caught being gay. Yeah, we can do that. Antipodian Squid with 100 bits. Did you, Hannah? Did you really do your best? The rest of the world doesn't feel like you're giving us your best. Hey, I said I'm doing my best. I don't know about everyone else. What do you want me to do? You know what? Fuck it. You know what? People in the future, you're right. I didn't do my best. I'm just living my life. Maybe that's the problem. We got too comfortable. Stopped giving a shit. I don't know. I'll sit here and rearrange furniture on the deck of the sinking Titanic until it goes down. Either way.
State Representative Bob Allen, the lawmaker voted Representative of the Year by a Florida police association, is now accused of offering $20 to perform a sex act on an undercover cop in a park bathroom. He's now telling Florida detectives it's all a huge misunderstanding. He tells the officers he walked into that park bathroom not for sex, but because he was afraid of the undercover cop who was black.
Yeah, well, I don't have control over that.
There's nothing other black guys around in the park that,
Later, Allen adds,
I'm about to be a statistic here.
Allen says he was so intimidated he would have said anything, including offering to pay sex with a stranger. And police aren't buying Allen's defense either, charging Allen was cruising for sex in Spaceview Park. According to their report, it was Allen who approached the undercover officer while he was inside of a bathroom stall and said, "This is kind of a public place, isn't it?" Then police say Allen proceeded to engage the officer in a conversation in which it was agreed he would pay me $20 in order to perform a sex act.
Meet George Allen Riekers, a conservative.
Honestly, how good is a $20 blowy going to be in the first place? Tucker White 24. Okay, as funny as it is to see anti-gay bigots get caught being gay, I think it's ridiculous that we're still criminalizing prostitution. I agree. I agree with you on that one.
Baptist minister, co-founder of the vehemently anti-gay group, the Family Research Council, and one of the nation's loudest proponents of the idea that homosexuality can be cured. Here's George Riekers, photographed by the Miami New Times at Miami's airport, returning from a 10-day European vacation with a much younger, quite hunky companion, who he met and hired through the website rentboy.com. When the story broke in the Miami New Times, Mr. Riekers told the paper that he had hired this young man in question because, quote, I had surgery and I can't lift luggage. which doesn't explain why in this New Times photo. As you can see, it is Mr. Reekers who is the one wrangling the cart, not his young consort. Mr. Reekers also told the paper that he used the trip to explain that the Christian faith is based in love and to show the rent boy how he too could be saved. Later, the young man who Mr. Reekers brought to Europe told the paper that he had spent part of each day on that trip giving Mr. Reekers massages. Very, very specific massages.
Today, the New Times published new details of the interaction between Rakers and Roman. Quoting the website, Roman explains he gave Rakers the same massage, which involves a technique the minister calls the long stroke, twice before traveling together. Must be a medical term. Today, Rakers gave the long goodbye to the National Association for Research and Therapy of Homosexuality.
I feel so bad for the, like, it's a complicated mix of feelings, because on the one hand, I feel bad that these people are so far in the closet and they feel that they can't come out or whatever. But on the other hand, they're not even just being in the closet and being benign, right? They're like being in the closet and trying to lash out and hurt people who are out of the closet, or people even who aren't, who want to come out of the closet. It's so sick.
Narth.
It has been a truly scandalous few months for the GOP. For the third time in 3 months, a Republican lawmaker is accused of soliciting gay sex.
On October 26th, Washington State Representative Richard Curtis, apparently dressed in red stockings and a black sequined lingerie top, and let's just say he wasn't on his way to a Halloween party. According to police reports, Curtis, who has voted against gay rights legislation, visited an erotic video store where he was seen receiving oral sex from an unidentified man inside a viewing booth. The report says he then invited another young man from the store back to his Spokane hotel, promising him $1,000 for sex. What followed, we really can't repeat on TV. Let's just say involved lingerie, rope, and stethoscopes. They all made an appearance. All of this came to light after the conservative lawmaker apparently contacted police claiming he was the victim of extortion by this man.
And he says at the conclusion of the sexual activity, Curtis fell asleep.
People already know that Bill Clinton is a bad boy, a naughty boy. I'm going to speak out for the citizens of my state who, in the majority, think that Bill Clinton is probably even a nasty, bad, naughty boy.
He's a 3-term senator, a member of the Singing Senators.
He is also known as a fierce opponent of gay marriage, and he endorsed Mitt Romney for president, citing his commitment to family values.
Foremost has very strong family values. That's something I grew up with and believe in.
Just 3 weeks ago, Larry Craig pleaded guilty to charges of disorderly conduct, charges that came out of an investigation into lewd behavior in a Minneapolis airport men's bathroom. According to the Capitol Hill newspaper roll call, an undercover police officer investigating complaints of sexual activity says the senator in a stall next to him tapped his foot, a signal the policeman says used by those, quote, wishing to engage in lewd conduct. And then the senator reportedly further signaled by swiping his hand under the divider. Senator Craig was arrested.
Are you technically not a homosexual? Is it possible you're bisexual?
It's no to both.
Do you think it would be something that would be awful? In other words, do you view it as something that would be awful to have to admit that you were gay?
I don't agree with the lifestyle.
You literally were soliciting gay sex in a bathroom. Just come out of the closet, dude. Really?
And I've said so by my votes over the years.
An anti-gay Republican turns out to have been a gay bar drag queen and previously gay. Steve Wiles is a Republican state Senate candidate. He supports North Carolina's constitutional amendment against same-sex marriage. He once worked as a female impersonator. I guess that's the official way that's what we call drag queens, at a gay nightclub in Winston-Salem, and he was gay at the time, according to a co-owner of the nightclub.
I'm thinking of the Creed bit from The Office where he's like, I slept with a lot of women in the 60s and 70s. It's possible a few men slipped in there. How would I know? Tucker White 24 says, just come out. Seriously, even Ted Haggard has come out, you know.
And a former employee.
Alabama attorney.
At this point, it's got to be like the sunk cost fallacy for these guys, right? They've put so much into their public image as like a homophobe, they just can't come out about it. They'd have to start from scratch, basically.
General Troy King plays itself out in beautiful symmetry. Known for his vocal opposition to gay rights and for his attempt to outlaw sex toys, King was caught by his wife while having sex with a local homecoming king.
There's a guy by the name of Philip Hinkle. He is a representative, and he has decided from Indianapolis, and he has decided that he was going to go ahead and answer a call on Craigslist for M for M, meaning men for men, and try to get...
Antipodian Squid with 100 bits. The closet is dark and miserable place to be. Just come out. It's fabulous, colorful, and we have glitter.
A 20-year-old, who, by the way, turned out in reality to be 18 years old, to come sleep with him in a hotel room. He offered him $80 and said but if he was really good, that he could give an additional $50 to $60. Wow, that is quite enticing. Cannot be a...
MMO Addicted with 5 bits. Soon the self-perpetuating closet circle will break apart and Republicans will embrace homosexuality too. Then in like 100 years, trans folk. Yeah.
Long-time sugar daddy.
It's always that like treadmill of progress. We accept more people and then Republicans way after the fact are like, okay, fine. And then it's on to the next thing the Republicans are going to try and rally against. It's so friggin' annoying.
But Ken, for tonight, would you be interested?
I'm wondering after like 20, 30 years, trans issues become even more mainstream and basically everyone accepts trans people. I'm curious, what are Republicans going to move to next? You know what I mean? Because they always got to have something that they call degenerate and like think is like some culture war thing they need to stake their campaigns on. So wondering what it'll be.
Interested in keeping me company for a while tonight. Then he says, I'm in shape. Married, professional, 5'8", fit, 170 pounds, and love getting and staying naked.
First, when I saw him, he was an older gentleman that was really old, and I didn't want anything to do with that.
But in the hotel room, the state rep exposed himself, he says. Later, when Gibson turned to leave...
He was like, you're not leaving until we do what we plan to do.
Gibson says Hinkle didn't want him to leave. Are ruining our planet and our economy.
And then
Republicans are probably going back to communists next.
When busted, then Hinkle goes into the bathroom. I'm sorry, the kid goes into the bathroom, calls his sister, says, get me out of here because this guy won't let me go. So the sister comes, busts in, and at that point, Hinkle is nervous and says, here, why don't you take my BlackBerry, my iPad, and I'll give you $100 on top, just don't tell anybody.
Gibson says going public's been rough, but he did it when he learned Representative Hinkle did things like create the In God We Trust license plate.
I just wanted to
How's
tell
that? Better?
The world, because I found out that he was anti-gayness, so he didn't like gay people. So why are you trying to get with somebody that's gay?
Mike Yenny sits down with Fox 8 News to talk about his texting scandal. He says despite exchanging illicit texts with a young man, the pair did not have sex. Here's his exclusive interview with Fox 8. But what was your intent?
My intent?
When you text him?
I really can't answer it. I mean, it was a stupid action. It was a stupid action to even get into this form of text messaging. It was something that I can't explain why I did it.
The texting scandal first spread on social media after a college student posted an online story about an encounter with a politician he called Kevin. Is this about you?
That is a story that was written for a tabloid. One thing the author of that story and I can absolutely agree on is that there was no sex.
Did you buy him underwear?
Again, there are fictional elements of that story, Lee.
Did you mean what you wrote?
Probably not, because nothing was acted upon. He is an admitted homosexual.
I, however, am a non-admitted homosexual, which is better for some reason.
That is not true. I've never admitted that. That doesn't define me either.
What do you mean it doesn't define me either?
To simply say I'm not gay.
A state senator has been arrested. He's accused of driving drunk in a state-issued vehicle. And tonight, sources are telling CBS 13 that this senator, Roy Ashburn, a father of 4, a Republican from Southern California with a history of opposing gay rights, was actually seen at a gay nightclub called Faces in Sacramento before he was arrested. Here's Kula Giannoulias with the story.
State Senator Roy Ashburn was arrested early this morning, suspected of drunk driving. He was behind the wheel of this black Tahoe, his state-issued vehicle owned by California taxpayers. Senator Ashburn was arrested just before 2 a.m. in Sacramento's popular Midtown neighborhood, known for its bars and restaurants. According to the CHP, he was weaving here on L Street and was pulled over and arrested without incident. There was also a passenger in the car, another man, but he was not identified as a lawmaker. Ashburn spent 8 hours in jail before paying the $1,400 bond.
Spokane Mayor Jim West has worked really hard against gay rights in his community. He supported a bill to ban gays and lesbians from working in schools, daycare centers, and some state agencies.
Ridiculous.
As well as a bill that bars the state from distributing pamphlets informing people how to protect themselves against HIV/AIDS. He proposed that any touching of sexual or other intimate parts of a person among teens be considered a criminal act. Let's go further. However, for 25 years, West was having sexual relationships with boys and young men from his community. He even offered to find boys he'd befriended jobs with the city of Spokane in exchange for sex.
Florida Republican Congressman Mark Foley abruptly resigned after he was accused of sending sexually explicit internet messages to a former teenage male congressional page.
To be honest, I'm a little too interested in you, so that's why I need to back off a little. Yeah, slow things down a little. I'm still young, like under 18. Don't want to do anything illegal. I'm not 18. Cool. Don't forget to measure for me. A reference to his request that the page provide the measurements of his sexual organ.
Now, within days of the scandal breaking, multiple mail pages said that they received similar messages from Foley. One even claimed that he had sex with the former congressman.
Now here's Bruce Barkley. He's the Republican County Commissioner of Cumberland County, Pennsylvania, or at least he was until quite recently. You know, here he is in happier times, spending a little quality time with Karl Rove, you know, sort of a local player in the Republican Party. Now, despite being from Pennsylvania, Bruce wasn't bitter until this man, 20-year-old Marshall McCurdy, accused him of rape. Now, on March 31st, police showed up at Barkley's house with a warrant based on McCurdy's accusation. And in the process of searching his home, they found out that he had a very high-tech surveillance system that he used to secretly videotape his sexual encounters with hundreds of men. Now, not only the surveillance system, obviously, but also the hundreds of videotapes of Barkley having sex with these hundreds of other men. Now, eventually, under police questioning, Barkley admitted that on a weekly basis, apparently for quite some time, he'd been hiring prostitutes from a local website called harrisburgfratboys.com. Among those sex tapes, the police did find the video, the video of Barkley and McCurdy having what appeared to be consensual sex. So that led to the charges against Barkley being dropped. And now it's McCurdy who's in a bit of a jam. He's looking at a possible 3-year prison sentence for making false accusations to authorities. Now, Barkley, on the other hand, he got off the false, rape accusation. On the other hand, he did have to resign as county commissioner, and now it looks like he might be facing some charges relating to privacy violations and encouraging prostitution.
Glenn Murphy Jr. Little bitty Glenn, former head of the Young Republicans and one of the former leading Republicans of Indiana, always advocated straight family values and straightforward sexual orientation views. He was caught finally the second time he did it, performing, we'll just say, another young Republican while that man slept. He was later jailed in 2008 and as of March of 2010 has been forced to register as a sex offender.
There was a congressman who was gay, and that he was using a interactive phone dating service to find what may be known as InstaSex, or, to hook up with somebody for sex. And the first thing I said to the person was, well, this is insane. I can't put up that a congressman is using an interactive phone service without proof. I mean, that's a hell of a charge levy. And he says, I have several recordings of the congressman going on the phone line to meet a man for sex, and they're very explicit, and I was like, wow.
There's nothing funny about the tools of capitalism.
Tucker White 24, should I just assume any Republican advocating for straight family values is also taking it up the butt? Yeah, maybe. See, here's the thing. There's clearly a trend where some people who are incredibly outspoken against, like, gay people or trans people or whatever are in the closet. But, like, I hate that as a stereotype because it almost implies that, like, homophobia or transphobia is the fault of in the closet people primarily when it isn't, right? Like, the reason homophobia exists is not just because of self-hating gay people. It's because it was perpetuated by straight people, and then people who were in the closet felt the need to go along with that perpetuated worldview, and sometimes will speak the loudest for it because they're trying to hide who they are, right? So, I don't know. I don't think it's fair to assume that someone who's a raging homophobe is just in the closet. I think that's a really, really off-base thing to assume.
I'd like him to be in very good shape, flat stomach, good chest, good arm, well cut. Just get naked, play, and see what happens. Nothing real heavy duty, but just a fun time. Go down on him, go down on me, and just take it from there. Hope to hear from you. Bye.
Congressman Edward Schrock, a Virginia Republican who once co-sponsored a bill to ban same-sex marriage, dropped out of his bid for re-election last month.
He never admitted that they were him, but he resigned from his re-election.
A North Dakota lawmaker caught sending an explicit photo of himself to another man. Republican Randy Baining, who has never officially come out of the closet, is now speaking out about the incident. He says he thinks he knows who did it after a federal employee vowed to out him as gay if he continued to vote against bills granting legal protection for the LGBT community. Justin Smith spoke out to local news saying he has recognized Baining from a newspaper article voting against the anti-discrimination bill and from the gay dating app Grindr using the name Top Man. Smith says Baining sent him sexually suggestive messages as well as a photo of his penis. According to Fargo newspaper Inforum, Baining has acknowledged he is Top Man, but says he doesn't think sending a
worst superhero ever
graphic photo of himself to a stranger is a lapse in judgment because that's what Grindr.
Dun, 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 dun. Top Man fighting his arch enemy, Power Bottom Man.
Is for.
Remember a few weeks ago when New York Congressman Christopher Lee resigned suddenly after a Craigslist scandal? It took hours, just hours, for the married Republican to step down after the website Gawker.com published a shirtless photo of him. He was allegedly looking for women on Craigslist. But now it seems there's more to the story and a lot more. Gawker kept digging, and now it's reporting that Lee was also after cross-dressers and transsexuals.
Tucker White 24, Top Man thrusting in the direction of the problem.
The story everyone's talking about, the scandal surrounding Pinal County Sheriff Paul Babiou. Tonight, his opponents are taking aim and the backlash is mounting. The sheriff himself addressing the accusations he abused his power, threatening to deport his ex-lover who just so happens to be a Mexican man. These pictures showing up in the Phoenix New Times, they show the sheriff posing half naked for a gay dating website. And next to the pictures, some rather specific personal information about Babiou. The pictures were allegedly given to the newspaper by a man named Jose. Jose says the sheriff threatened to deport him after he refused to sign a non-disclosure statement after the relationship ended.
Ken Melman was the campaign manager for George W. Bush's re-election effort in 2004 when the Republican Party ran one of the most anti-gay campaigns in history. They helped to put anti-gay rights measures on ballots in states all across the country. Now, a man at the center of these smear campaigns has come out of the closet and said that he's gay. Melman says it wasn't him. He privately tried to talk the party out of campaigning on that issue. Well, it didn't work.
McCarthyism and the witch hunts led by a closeted gay, Roy Cohn, a true evil bastard.
Roy Cohn supported lots of really dreadful people who were completely homophobic and in some ways was himself, you know, homophobic. I mean, he had a lot of sort of negative feelings about out gay people.
Roy Cohn is not a homosexual. Roy Cohn
is a heterosexual man, Henry, who fucks around with guys.
Ed Koch was mayor of New York City, and he didn't want to lift a hand to help gay people. He would not do anything that was required by the situation.
Fuck you.
San Francisco AIDS organization was getting money from their mayor in huge amounts. We weren't getting anything. And it pissed me off more and more and more because we all knew he was gay.
Reagan had been elected on this fundamentalist conservative role in America, led by the National Conservative Political Action Committee. The president of NCPAC was Terry Dolan. Terry is dancing at Flamingo on the weekend in New York and propping up the most right-wing homophobes in America by day.
And this is a man who's raising money to kill us, Terry Dolan. And I went to a cocktail party in Washington, and there he was. And I threw a drink in his face. I said, how dare you come to a party of gay people after what you're doing to us?
Richard Brozzi, the head of the NIH, in charge of all the infectious diseases at the time at the advent of AIDS, would not do anything that was required by the situation, anything heroic, simply because he was afraid he'd spend his entire career trying not to be identified with us. Everyone knows Richard's gay. He's got pictures of boyfriends on his dresser at home. And so that closet can kill other people, and it has.
Yep. It's a shame. Anyway, that's it. That's it for today. We're going 3.5 hours. So thank you, everyone, for coming to the stream. It's been a lot of fun. Tomorrow I'll be back for something else. I don't know what. Who knows? Maybe we'll watch some, like, Doomcock and other people like that. And we also have D&D tomorrow over on Actual Jake, twitch.tv/ActualJake. Daddy Sume with a bit Karens. Maybe. I haven't decided. We'll see. So yeah, thanks for coming to the stream. It's been a good time. I'm tired, though. So, thanks, everyone. Have a good night. Chat is valid.
There's nothing funny about the tools of capitalism.